Time for the late night boxing talks. Got my brand new Captain America shirt. I was waiting for this, but it's a little bit tight. It's a little bit snug. You know what I mean? Which ain't bad, but a little bit too snug. So yeah, there seems to be a very interesting soundbite floating around by way of Teofimo Lopez, who says that his upcoming fight with Josh Taylor, that's supposed to be the final fight. What it do, Jay? What it do, Dolphin Time? Supposed to be the final fight of his deal with ESPN. It's supposed to be the final fight, I guess, of his existing top-ranked contract. And beyond that, you do have to wonder, well, where's he going to go? Would he go to the PBC? Would he go to Matchroom? I feel like he'd want to go to Matchroom. I feel like he might. I'm not sure that the PBC has something that he'd want in particular, aside from potentially a Gervonta Davis fight, though they'd probably jerk him around, I mean, I know that a lot of people have Gervonta on the brain, but you have to be realistic that the only reason that fight with Ryan happened is because Ryan is more beatable than the other kids. He's more beatable than Teofimo, more beatable than Shakur and Devin, certainly more beatable than somebody like Subriel Matias and Regis Prograis. That the fight with Ryan doesn't open the door to all these other fights, because all these other fights don't necessarily tack on the same value. Sophia, what it do? Leo, what it do? Giancarlo, que lo que? Jay, what it do? And we out here. Y'all like my Captain America shirt? Send me a super chat if you like my Captain America shirt. And yeah, like it's not a segue to all these other fights that people are talking about. It's not. So, it is what it is. And he said something that was a little bit, not a little bit. I actually think it was very inappropriate for him to have said what he said. I don't know why he said that in particular. I think that he just doesn't want to admit, because I'll play it for y'all, because it was sent to me. It was sent to me. I'll play it for you guys, and you can tell me what you think. Shout out to my man Virtuoso, who sent it to me.
I put more weight on my back than all they was talking about right away. When I slipped with the first knockdown they called, I slipped. They called it right away with the ground. He said, he hurt. So I don't sugarcoat shit. All these motherfuckers dick ride and they suck dick. Sorry for my language. No. But that is the problem. I don't ride off that. Yeah. And just to even put it more on the spike, this is my last fight on ESPN. Yeah. Because this is no longer, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. This is why this fight means everything to me. If they want the black fighters, they can keep them. I brought Bud Light to top rank. I put more weight on my back than all they was talking about.
You heard what he said, and I don't really know why he said that. I honestly believe that he just has a lack of accountability, that if he finds himself in a situation that he's in, it's his own fault. From the very beginning, from the moment all of that stuff with George Kambosos started, I said that this kid's getting a big head too fast, that you making a mountain out of a molehill, and what you need to do is hurry up, do that George Kambosos fight at the price that Top Rank wanted, because you don't want to spend a lot of time on this thing. Now, I'm going to shoot my man Q a link. I want to get Q on here. The link is for Q, not everybody. The link is for Q. Jay, I don't know what's wrong with that dude, bro. But we all know, Jay, how many times we talked about it, that he not stable, bro. Like, his brain is a bag of cats, His brain is a bag of cats. We talked about it a million times, that there's no accountability. He don't show no accountability. That what happened with George is your fault. That's your fault. That's not Bob's fault. That's not Eddie's fault. That's not Matchroom's fault. That's your fault. Nobody told you to spend that much time on that. You didn't want to understand. I just said the link is for Quentin. Don't know who 111 is. Probably a troll.
Yo, what up, man? What's good?
what you think about Teofimo? You know, it seems to me that Teofimo is a bigot. That's how I feel. There
Yeah, I
wasn't no
mean,
need for that last part. I don't
nah.
know what that has to do with anything. If you see that Shakur is out here fighting and winning, because I kind of felt like maybe what was he talking about? Shakur? Who's he talking about? Jared, Shushu, Brute? Because where does a statement like that come from?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, you could look at the fact that the people that have been his biggest critics, whether it's, Tim, whether you're talking about Andre, uh, both of those dudes are black, obviously. So maybe they think that, they're showing favoritism towards the black fighters that are signed with Top Rank. But I just find it a little bit ironic because you could swear that there's other dudes, in the boxing universe, in the boxing community, that want to say that Top Rank is, preferential towards non-black fighters. But now you got Teo saying that they're preferential towards black fighters. So, either way you slice it, man, the reality about Teo, in my opinion, is that he's sensitive and he's in his feelings because Top Rank has started to push other guys. They made him the B side in this Taylor versus Teo fight that he's about to have, even though it's in his city, even though it's supposed to be him headline and he's supposed to be the starring act in this movie, so to speak. And the reality is man, is that Top Rank has other options and other priorities, and those priorities just happen to be other races other than him from time to time.
Yeah, because I mean, if Top Rank prioritizes anybody, honestly, it's the good fighters. And you know, guys always turn this into something that it isn't whenever it's convenient, when it's simple. Shakur is delivering. He is. He is. Devin, he got the job done. Jared, a young, exciting heavyweight, I'm very high on him. Very excited. It doesn't matter where he's from or what he looks like. It's that he's delivering. They holding up their end of the bargain. And it's like with Teofimo, he just don't want to understand that, Brody, you wasn't supposed to lose to George. And it wasn't some deep state conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like Putin was there and George Bush was there and Sleepy Joe was there. No, it's not a conspiracy, bro. You fucking lost because you thought you could look past them. That's what you thought. That's what you thought. And you know what? Maybe you were sick. Maybe it's all of that. But if you would have did this fight when Top Rank wanted you to do this fight at the price they wanted, it would have been done. And making the weight, it wouldn't have been a problem because you wouldn't have spent a year on this low ass fight. You got greedy and you got what you got.
Yeah, I mean, you got to choose your battles. Whether you're talking about in business, in your career, if you're talking about in your personal relationships, you got to choose your battles. And it seems like Teo is trying to nitpick and criticize and go off about every little thing he doesn't like that may be being done at that current moment. When in reality, all he has to do is win this Josh Taylor fight, and he's back on the top of the priority list for Top Rank. He's a world champion at 140. He'd be their only guy at 140 that has a belt. So if they're going to promote anybody in that division, it's going to be him. He's probably the guy that's going to be able to sell the most tickets if he becomes a world champion again. So why would he not just focus on your fight, man, win this fight, get back on top, and get back to talking your shit like he was doing before? But you can't do that when you're the challenger. You can't do that when you haven't put together back-to-back good performances. Your performances have been subpar. And that's okay. It happens. But you got to be real with yourself. But ultimately, he's never going to be able to be real with himself because he's got his father pumping him up, gassing him up, putting that battery in his back, and not telling him the real deal. He needs to get with a real trainer. He needs to get with a real management team. And he needs to go to somebody that's going to be able to keep it honest with him because he can't be honest with himself, clearly.
Now, Quentin, I want to thank you for this super chat. I got the super chat, so I'm going to buy beer with it. But thank you, Quentin. As Will says, this Quentin dude is so on point. Yes, he is. Quentin, let them know where they can find you. I want you to stick around, but let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. So my Instagram is right on Q, right, WRITE on _Q. Same thing on Twitter. And then I also have a podcast that I do with one of my co-hosts. It's called The Mic Check Podcast, the spelled THA. We do videos on various sports, specifically boxing, basketball, and football. But yeah, man, That's where you can find me.
And yet, Quentin, does this affect your perception of the fight that Teofimo, ahead of the fight, he's having these emotional outbursts? Does this lead you to believe that maybe he doesn't have it all together going into this fight?
I mean, I'm going to be real with you, man. I had already decided that I thought Josh Taylor would win the fight, regardless of the issues he had with his injury, regardless of the fact that he didn't look great in his last fight with Jack Catterall. If you just were to put a simple equation together, is Jack Catterall better than the last two dudes that Teofimo fought? I would say yes. So if anybody has an excuse to not look as good as they should, it would be the guy who fought Jack Catterall. So I was already convinced that Teo was going to lose this fight. But what it really shows me is apprehensiveness. It shows me that he's uncomfortable. It shows me that he's nervous about his next fight. It shows me that he's trying to build in the excuse that, oh, if I lose this fight and I fall off a cliff or Top Rank gets rid of me, it's because of something other than my performances. Because if he loses this fight, that's 3 fights back to back where he didn't perform up to snuff.
That's
and
true.
You know how Top Rank is. Top Rank don't play around with dudes that's not doing what they're supposed to do.
But you know what the funny shit is? The Gabe Flores kid, right? And I honestly thought that they cut him. I thought they cut him after the Pitufo Diaz fight. You know, that young kid they got that he's like fucking 18 or some shit, and he got his fucking ass kicked. I thought they cut him, and they're actually using him in a fight. So for me, Teofimo is burning bridges that he doesn't need to burn, even though it's not necessary yet. Like, you haven't even had the fight yet. You don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they're willing to work with you because you still are somebody to some degree. You know, a fight like Lopez versus Ramirez, it still does good business. And it's like he's jumping the gun because of what you said. They're like, yo, he nervous. That's what that shit is. He nervous. He don't know if he gonna beat this guy, so he's bugging out now. Like, he's just bugging out ahead of the fight.
Yeah, it's tough to watch because, I mean, right now, you know, Top Rank is pushing Shakur, they're pushing Jared, you know, but they really, I mean, they was pushing Xander. Before that, they was pushing Loma. So it's not like Top Rank has ever been strongly, you know, preferential toward a certain subgroup or a certain racial group of fighters. I just think that he's getting jealous now because he's not the new hot thing on the block. And when he was coming up, you know, in that, you know, in the rumors of he was going to fight Loma, and before he fought Comey, and then when he got the unified title, you know, he was getting all this hoopla, and everybody was trying to put him on the top pound for pound list. Now that none of that is happening and nobody's talking about him, and people are barely talking about his next upcoming fight, even though it is a good fight, I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm going to watch the fight. Because there's no hype around him right now, it's almost like he's having to compensate for that by saying divisive things and saying things that's going to get him attention, buzzkill, to try to, you know, get people to want to watch his fight or watch him.
I agree. I mean, I agree. And you know, I looked at it as an even fight, a very even fight before, because while Teofimo's looking human, so is Josh. And who knows if Josh can make the weight match fit? We don't know. But the more time passes and seeing this, I'm like, yo, this dude is starting to come apart at the seams. He doesn't have the mental fortitude to just, yo, shut up, do the work, get the job done, and talk your shit afterwards. But if you doing that before the fight, that tell me that you feeling type nervous right now, because Josh is being Josh. You know, I'm Josh Taylor, and I'm going to beat Teofimo, and he's not going to fight me. He's just being Josh on his regular Josh shit. Whereas you, it got to be fuck Top Rank. It got to be, oh, yeah, I want the black fighters. I didn't like that. I'm going to tell you why I don't like that. You one of these guys that wanted to be a us versus them type of shit. I'm not with that shit. It's not a us versus them, bro. I watch boxing for the good fighters. Sometimes the good fighters is from Japan. Sometimes they're from the UK. Sometimes they're from right here in America. Sometimes they're from some Eastern European country. Sometimes I don't know where the fuck they're from. That's why I watch boxing. And when you do that, you create this unstable and divided environment because you're trying to make it like, oh, it's the Spanish guys versus the black guys. Nah, fam, don't do that. What are you doing, bro? You just mad that Sandor dropped you and you couldn't drop him. Sandor is Spanish too, literally from Spain. So let's cut the shit. He made you look bad. It's just fucking facts. right? George, he from Greece. Put a lot of mousse in his hair. I know he puts a lot of product in there. He dropped you too. So don't create this unstable shit. And I just don't like that in the sport because it makes it hard to enjoy, especially as a content creator, when it's like, yo, dog, everybody's always trying to turn shit into like a us versus them. You know what I mean? I fucking picked Javante to knock out Ryan, right? On the live, it was a troll in the live. Oh, see, I'm like, how? What are you gloating about? I picked Javante to knock him out. What is your point? So I just don't like when I see that shit, man. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think there's a place and a time for everything in life, and there's a place and a time to have, your people from where you're from, or from your neighborhood, or from your region, or from your city to represent you, right? If he wanted to come out and say something along the lines of, hey, I hope that all of the, people from my community come out and watch this fight. He's from Brooklyn, right? Am I mistaken in that? He's from Brooklyn.
I mean, really, look, he rep New York, but he's a Florida guy, bro. Like, okay. Florida guy. Like, he ain't no New Yorker, bro. He's a Florida. Because he probably was in New York for a time because you can hear it. But, bro, that dude from Florida. And that's probably why he be bugging out like that, too. All them Floridians, man, crazy, man. It's fucking Florida, man. So, now, Nick, shout out. Speaking of Florida, there's the coach.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, when you talk about Teo, it's really one of those things where, man, if he was just focused on the right things, if he performs the way he should perform, if he proves me wrong and he beats Josh Taylor, he's going to be a two-weight, two-time lineal, former unified, I shouldn't say undisputed, unified champion that realistically has a chance to go right back into the pound-for-pound conversation and has a great chance, because of the fact that Regis hasn't signed with anybody, to feel confident going into a fight with Regis to say, well, you lost to Josh. I beat Josh. So I can beat you because I'm on a high right now. I'm younger than you. I'm probably going to be more active than you, and I have an advantage over you. But he's so stuck on the fact that he may lose the fight and Top Rank ain't pushing him, and they made him the B side, that now he in his feelings and he being mad sensitive. Bro, win the fight and you back in the catbird seat.
Exactly. And not even the Regis fight, because if you think about it, a fight that has a lot of fucking value. Let's say Devin beats Loma. Let's say he don't beat Loma. Either way, that's a fight that you can have. Like, yo, Devin, if you want to get it on, I got a belt. I know you don't want to have to keep making 135. Win or lose with Loma. Devin don't want to have to keep making 135. Let's be real. He ain't going to get no motherfucking Javante Davis fight. And I don't really feel like, yeah, he going to fight Shakur. Nah, not yet. Maybe at 140, but not now. Maybe down the line, but not now. I just don't feel like that's now. So if you Teofimo, the rest of your career is on the other side of this fight, and what you focusing on is bigotry and bullshit. Coach, first let me read the super chat. I'm certain Tosh Jailer stops Teofimo. Teofimo's head is all out of whack, and Josh is tough mentally and physically, despite the recent wear and tear. DHP says another L, and Teofimo is going to end up zip-tied in a psych ward with Daddy and Teo next to him. Bozos. Coach, what do you think about it?
Teofimo, man. I'm at the park with my kids. I don't know, man. I don't know. Can you hear me, Jules?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to say about Teofimo, man. Teofimo, he hasn't been the same since he beat Lomachenko. And I say this time and time again. I'm like, I don't know what happened to him, bro. Like, prior to Lomachenko, he was fine, but after that, something happened to him. And I don't know what the hell is going on. Now, as it relates to Florida, we do have some crazies in Florida, I'm not gonna lie. But y'all can have him though. Because he don't claim Florida. They don't claim Florida. They claim New York.
Coach, I'm going to tell you the truth that I have it on good authority that what people believe became wrong with him after the Loma fight was actually always wrong with him. He was never stable. And it's easy when you winning and you doing good, you know, and things are good and people are saying nothing but good things. But I have it on good authority that they was never stable, you know. T.O., his dad, they was never stable. So we just seeing these things come to light. And I guess, you know, what I didn't like about it is don't start no shit where it's some us versus them shit, bro. You just on some weird, weak shit. You know, that's what's going on. You're scared of the Scottish guy because the Scottish guy, he's with the shit. And you I don't get how you about to fight a Scotsman. You fought a Spaniard before that and a Mexican guy before that. But if they want the black fighters, they can have them. I brought Bud Light. Like, bro, how you sound, fam? What's wrong with you, bro?
Yeah, hey man, I'm not gonna lie. I heard. I'm not even tripping on that. I'm not even tripping on it, brother. Like, whatever, man. Say whatever. Right now, you got to deal with Josh Taylor. Man, Josh Taylor. I got Josh Taylor beating him. No, forget the video we heard. I ain't worried about that. I'm picking Josh Taylor already. I think Josh Josh know he didn't have his best performance. People feel like he ducked Jack Catterall, but I think he's gonna be on point. And I think Teofimo should be on point as well. But I just got Josh. You know what I mean? Because I think mentally Teofimo ain't there, man. So
He not there, and you know, we talked about this. I talked about this in a live I did last week that I'm kind of scared for him if he lose again because Josh could lose, bro. You know, he a man. He got his wife and all his shit, and he got an unbeaten record. So if he lost, what's your first loss? Say, you know, shit. But if Teofimo lose, bro, that dude is gonna
yeah.
climb up the side of the Sears Tower, bro. You gonna go crazy, bro. Like he can't afford that. I'm scared for him if he lose this fight, bro.
Man,
Josh Taylor, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
no, sorry about that, brother. I'm gonna just say this. So I'm gonna say this, Quentin. I think Josh Taylor gonna make an example out of him.
Mm, mm.
I don't know what it is, man. I just think Josh Taylor. Cause I think highly of Josh Taylor, and I do think I don't like how he went out with the Catterall, but I just think, man, but he hasn't fought in a while, so it could be a possibility Teofimo could be catching Josh at the right time because he hasn't been active. That is a strong possibility. But I'm picking Josh, man. I don't trust I don't trust T Diddy and Diddy Bob. I call Teofimo Diddy Bob. I call his dad T Diddy. I just don't trust that combo, man.
Me
I
neither.
just don't trust him.
Me neither. I mean, I don't think anybody does. It's hard to have faith in him. I guess what separates them is that, you know, Josh Taylor's a grown man. Teofimo is still a young man with bullshit in his brain. And for a guy that young who ain't stable, you're going through a divorce. The lady won't let you see your baby. Top Rank is giving you the cold shoulder. He don't have the life experience to understand that, like, yo, dog, all you really have to do is win this fight. That's it. That's all you got to do. Go ahead, Q.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say, man, it's funny how sometimes the opponent that you're going to fight is the example of how you should do things. And I look at how Josh Taylor handled his what most people would consider a loss to Jack Catterall, where he took it like a man. He said, "Yep, I didn't perform the way I should have performed. I'm gonna make adjustments in my camp." He changed trainers. You know, he's moved his camp around. He's moved around as far as where he was going to be promoted. He did everything he could in his possibility to try to get himself prepared to be the person that he's supposed to be in the ring. But yet Teofimo is not taking that example as something that he should be doing. He should have changed trainers 2 or 3 fights ago. He hasn't fought how he should for almost 2 years now. It's been since the bubble, like Coach mentioned, since he's fought at that top of his potential. But yet he's not self-aware enough to realize that, listen, from time to time, when you are in your career, you have to make sacrifices and do things differently than you've been doing them. And sometimes that means changing trainers. Sometimes that means changing management. Whatever it has to be, that's the sacrifices you have to make. It looks like Josh is willing to do that. It looks like Teofimo is not. And I really don't care about the fact that Josh hasn't been active, while that is a factor. I think that Josh is just a bad style matchup for T.O. because T.O. don't throw enough punches. Teo's got to be the guy who's the aggressor in this fight because he's a smaller man. How's he gonna
That
get
is
inside
true.
Josh Taylor's jab if he doesn't throw any punches? If he's not active,
That's
he's
true.
not an
Like
active puncher. He's
I
a
would
counter
say
guy.
Jack Catterall uses his jab more than Teofimo does, and that's a big part of why he had success was behind the jab.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, Josh, and the funny part about Josh, while Josh is a statuesque, tall, rangy guy for 140, it's almost like he's a better inside fighter than he is an outside boxer. So
Mhm.
when you look at it like that, it's like, well, what's T.O.'s path to victory? He's not a better outside boxer because he's a smaller guy. He's not going to be the stronger puncher in that fight from the inside. I mean, the only thing I could see is if Josh is completely just falling off of a cliff because he hasn't been able to regain what he was before the Catterall fight. That's the only path to victory I see for him in this fight.
Yeah, but if he falling off a cliff, Teofimo right there with him because he falling off a cliff too. Shit,
Great
he's
point.
losing his fucking mind, man. Cracking under pressure, and the thing is, it's like mindset is everything. You know, if he had the right people around him to tell him the right shit, like, listen, bro, you bought the fight of Josh Taylor that ain't fought in over a year. His foot hurt. He got plantar fasciitis or whatever the fuck that shit is, right? You catching this guy at a great time. What we gonna do, we gonna win this fight. We ain't gonna say shit. Skip the drum. We gonna win this fight, and we'll renegotiate our contract with Top Rank for more money because they're gonna want to make a fight between us and Jose Ramirez or us and Devin Haney. I don't really think they want the Prograis fight. You know how I feel about that? Like, yo, dog, them guys ain't dumb, man. You put that kid in the ring with Regis. Regis put him in the hospital, bro. Like, for real though, that kid is not ready for. I'm not making excuses for him, by the way. If they wanted to fight, go ahead. I'll watch that shit. But I'm just saying, if y'all fought, Regis will mess you up, bro, real bad. Like you don't.
Yeah, you're right about that, Jules. Regis program, man. Like, damn that, and that's why I got Josh. I'm like, man, Josh don't fought Regis program. That fight could have went either way. Like he kind of went like that the murderous row on the tournament, and he don't went through some shit to get there. He was undisputed. And I think whatever dog that Teofimo have in him, I think Josh Taylor have that in some just based on the path he went down in order to become undisputed. And I just mentally, man, Diddy Bop, man, I'm a star. I did it first. I was undisputed. I became undisputed. Then Canelo decided to come undisputed. I inspired these guys. He's talking like a delusional, like, bro, like what you been smoking on, bro?
Bro, Terrence,
like what's wrong with you?
The weirdest shit is you didn't start that undisputed shit. Technically, Terrence started that shit. He went undisputed at 40 before you never even went undisputed. That's the other dumb shit that, bro, you're not undisputed. When you beat Loma, motherfucking Devin had the BC. You didn't fight him. You're not undisputed. You fucking crazy, bro. And I want to reply to this comment. He's saying Regis is an old man. Let me tell you what. Foreman was older when he beat Michael Morrell. So don't hit me with that, oh, he's an old man bullshit. He ain't too old to fuck up Teofimo. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
B-Hop was undisputed at what, 38?
Exactly. Regis ain't but in his mid-30s. He ain't too old to fuck up Teofimo. You bugging. Like, shit, look at the guy that he fought, Jose Zapata. Jose Zapata would be a difficult fight for Teofimo Lopez. That would be a very
100%.
difficult, dangerous
100%.
fucking fight. So I don't know all this old man shit is. You know what I mean? Guys get attached to a fighter and they can't see shit. Like, bro, Teofimo is not what y'all think he was. And I'm not trying to be a Monday morning quarterback. Even though I'm not, I said this. When that kid gets to 40, I don't care what happens with Lomachenko. When that kid gets to 40, all the advantages and tools that you had as a lightweight, you won't have them up there, bro. It's nothing but killers up there. Nothing but. I wouldn't pick him to beat that Puerto Rican guy, Subriel Matias. It's just being real, bro.
No, hell no. Hell no. Oh no.
Yeah, that's
No.
a suicide mission, bro. That is a suicide mission. Crazy? Dude, whoop your ass.
Man, bro, no. Hell no. Hey, Jules, I'm gonna get ready to leave my kids. We gotta get them from this park. They don't want to leave. You know, my son in karate, so once we leave karate, the park is right here. So I'm gonna tell them to come on, man, so we can go home.
I dig it, bro. I'll holler at you, man. Yo, follow the
Hey,
coach.
hey, Jules, I interviewed Tim Bradley, man. If you want anything you want to use on it, use it. I don't care. You don't need permission. Just you take
I,
whatever you
pre-
need.
I appreciate. I was watching that shit, bro. I was watching that shit. Appreciate you.
All right.
So just thinking about Teofimo, and I thought about this well over a year ago. That I was like, yo, when you look at who's up there, the guys that are up there, which one of those guys does he beat? He not gonna beat Regis. Not gonna beat that Matias person. That dude got a body on his record. Are you crazy? Sandor Martin seemed like he was too tricky. And it turns out I was right to think that, like, yo, this dude is wild tricky. Like, I ain't even gonna say that Sandor won. I'm gonna just say, yo, you look bad, which is what I thought would happen. You gonna look bad. You a counter puncher and he moved lateral. He not gonna give you nothing to counter, which means you gotta put the pressure on him. And he couldn't do that, not without getting dropped 2 times. So, it's all bad, yo. It's all bad.
Yeah, I'm wondering why Teo chose this moment in time in his career to, make these gripes public, because the perfect time to use this, whatever his issues are, is at the negotiation table after he wins the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lineal again. I'm WBO champion again. Y'all ain't been pushing me like you've been pushing all these other dudes out here, Shakur, Jared Anderson, whoever else he thinks that they're pushing more than him. Why didn't he wait until after the fight is over? If you've won the fight, now you can say, okay, now you got to pay me or I'm walking with this belt, with this lineal status, with myself going back on the pound for pound list with a lot of people. I don't understand why he wouldn't do that, because
Fear.
ultimately,
It's fear. I mean, if it's anything, it's fear. It's just like you said, that you doing all this stuff ahead of the fight when these are things that you address after the fight. If you're confident in your abilities, which he must not be, because why would you be saying this now?
I mean, the fact that he didn't even show up when they were supposed to do their little face-to-face at that fight is very, very interesting to me, because you can't tell me that Top Rank didn't have an agreement in place that, hey, Josh, we're going to fly you over to New York because we having this. Or actually, it was in New Jersey, right? It was at Shakur's fight. It was in New Jersey.
It was at Shakur's fight.
Yeah, it was at Shakur's fight. We're going to fly you over. And I'm pretty sure Teo was training, at least at one point before the Loma fight, he was training in New Jersey. He was training when they did that whole, behind the scenes all access deal before the Loma fight. He was training in New Jersey. So you can't tell me that they didn't have an agreement in place to get them to face off, to get them to talk their shit in person at the fight. And then all of a sudden he backs out of it. You putting the battery in Josh's back doing that. He flew all the way over here to see you, and you can't even show up to be there to talk your shit like you want to? Nah, man, that sound weird to me.
It looked. I mean, it really did look like a weak move, because at the end of the day, none of this stuff happens by accident. Josh Taylor didn't just decide, I'm going to fly to New York to go see you. That was part of a plan that they had to help sell this fight. That's what that was. And you over there worrying about the UFC. That shit looked weak. Yeah, and then this latest shit, that looked weak too.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Let me go to Reyes.
All right, Jules, man, I'm about to be out, bro. Appreciate the talk, man. I'll talk to y'all later.
No problem. Reyes, just what do you think about, young Teofimo? He's spazzing out, having outbursts and shit. What's going on?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of just surprised about it to be. Well, no, I'm not. But I'm just surprised that it happened like that, to be honest. Like, it must have been something building up in his mind for a minute. Like, he started realizing at a certain point that it was like, damn, like, they really don't give a shit no more.
No.
Like and he started seeing, know what it was? It probably was a Shakur card. In fact, I'm betting that's why he wasn't even there too. Because he was like, yo, this motherfucker that they really trying to push ahead of me, my fight's way better. And I haven't even seen so much as like an ad on the internet for my fight. It's 2 months away. So I think it was more that, and on top of that, it might be a bit of nerves because even though Josh is at the best time, he probably knows like, yo, I don't hit that hard no more. Like, I'm gonna be real. I think he might even know, yo, I don't hit that as hard as Catterall does.
I mean,
Or
on
at least,
Josh's end of it, but your mentality alone could take you a long way. And if you Josh, this is only gonna embolden you. That yo, I literally came to your side of the world to see you, and you was in a completely different state, knowing that I was gonna be here. You telling me that being at the UFC event was more important to you than selling the fight that you're gonna be in, or are you scared?
well, that's another thing too when I think about it, because I remember when you think about Josh's two biggest fights, the Regis fight at the end of the Super Series tournament and the fight with Jose Ramirez, there was one thing he did to both of them, and it fucked up the fight for both of them. Regis said, I had a plan to box, but then he kept talking so much shit and fucking with me so much in the press conference, I wanted to beat the dog shit out of him. Hence why he started like pretty much pressing on his chest for the entire fight, even though he was better at range. And Jose Ramirez, when he went into the fight, he said, yo, that shit at the it wasn't the press conferences. They were like in the hallway or something at a hotel.
Yeah, they had they had like a little squabble in the hallway.
Nah, he straight up ran in there, screamed with the Scottish flag, and put hands on him in front of everybody, and nothing happened. That shit rattles you. So T was probably thinking, that's not gonna be me. I'm good, bro. Y'all can have that, bro.
I don't think T.O. got the mentality. Like, if he get on his Josh Taylor shit, because he a live wire, yo. Like, he be bugging the fuck out. You know, for those that don't know, the Scots, they come from the Woads. They used to paint theyself blue with them berries. They used to go crazy. They was on the other side of Hadrian's Wall. I know because I was there, right? I was there, right? She looking at me like I'm crazy. Don't know what I'm talking about. And I was there, man. Them fucking guys fight, man. If they don't do nothing, they fucking fight. And T.O. is not, he is just not in a place for high stress right now. And he is under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. This is a make or break fight, because if you lose this opportunity that technically you don't even deserve, let's be real. Who on the panel think T.O. Shut up. Who on the panel think that he deserves a title shot? Shut up.
I really don't think he's like has the mental fucking fortitude to even compete. I'm sorry. What's going on there?
Don't soap him up. I'm sorry.
Jules, you about to get hit with a chair,
we're
bro.
not trying to watch domestic violence here, man. Come on.
Domestic violence.
but not for real though. Like, this is not a good look for T.O., especially like when you're like about a month away from a fight. Like, you don't need this, man. And Punch Drunk, like you being the official channel of Teofimo Lopez, man, it's not a good look for your channel that you're highlighting this guy who's got mental problems right in front of you, saying all this wild shit, man. Talking about, oh, I brought Bud Light to Top Rank. Man, the way you talk, Bud Light is going to walk away from Top Rank.
If he lose that fight.
For real.
Oh, shit. Look, man, I ain't even going to get into all that, because I've said many times, not exclusive to that particular channel, I've said it in a very general sense, that what I see happen in the media, whether it's the pundits themselves, the actual journalists, or the content creators, which in this day and age are very much part of the media, they attach themselves to a fighter. And I could tell that, like, just by you doing that, either you young or you got a young mind, because fighters come and go. Why would I want to be the official spokes anything for any one person when fighters come and go? Fighters win and lose. I'm not here, like, it's cool when you cool and it's good and it's organic, but fighters come and go, man. They come and they go. They shit don't last. As quick as you up, especially in this sport, that's as quick as it'll take for you to be down. So don't become the unofficial mouthpiece of anybody, really. It's not a good idea, man.
Yeah. You ever notice in that clip, I think his father was in the background and like saying like, shh, Like I think he says something that he shouldn't have said,
Yeah.
and at that moment he tried to calm him down. At least that's my perception of it.
I mean, like, look, there was a lot wrong with that. Like, God forbid, I'm not even going to spread that thing around because you could literally lose your endorsement.
For
You
real.
could. Like you saying that, yeah, you could literally lose that endorsement because what you're saying sounds prejudicial. Why are you making it about that, bro? It's not about that. It's about you looking bad. It ain't about Shakur. It's Shakur's light. It ain't about Jared Anderson, Anthony Anderson. It's not about Shushu Carrington. It's about you looking bad, bro. That's what it's about. You got dropped by Sandpaper Martin. That's what it's about.
If you can't handle criticism, then there's no point in you being out in public.
Cracking, bro. He is cracking for real. And these fucking sleeves is too high, man. I should have ordered the next size. Tight as shit.
For real. You went to the fucking laundromat?
Bro, nah. I ordered.
Hey,
but it's not the same as the others, though. It's like shit, mad tight. Like, swole out here.
China.
Look at my traps. Look at my traps. I feel like Steve Grodges out here, B. Steve Grodges. DHP says Jules is quick to know his place. Salute the Ms. Ring IQ for throwing Mike Tyson blows. Man, I'm going to get off this camera and go squeeze her butt. What are y'all talking about? No, I'm going to. Will says, some of the most profound wisdom you gave me years ago was never fall in love with a fighter. Big up Jules. Yeah, for real, yo. The content creators get access, and it's easy to understand why, yeah, you're going to get starstruck because you watch these people on TV, you make videos about them, so you're going to get starstruck. But what you really don't want to happen is for your objectivity to be hampered by the access you're gaining, because fighters come and go. They win and lose. It might be cool today, and tomorrow, old boy get his ass kicked, and suddenly that stock ain't worth nothing, and you out here looking crazy. Look at how many guys, people don't even realize how many content creators stop making content after Wilder got his ass kicked again. Motherfuckers really started talking about other sports. Beats made a video about it. Content creators that used to talk about boxing that started talking about the playoffs.
R.I.P. Low Place.
I bet you some of those guys were the kinds of guys that would threaten people's lives too if you contradicted anybody on Wilder's record or resume or anything.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. We got Dirk. I don't know Dirk, so let's see who Dirk is.
Oh, I think is that the one that was on here last time?
I don't know.
What up?
I'm old.
Hey,
what's going on, Dirk?
What's up?
Ain't shit. What you think about what we talking about?
The Teofimo situation. I'm not surprised. Him and his daddy been cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Facts. Like I said, I heard somebody that knew him, right? Somebody that knew him before the Comey, before all of that. Facebook groups, dude based out of Florida. He said, like, yo, that kid, he gonna make it, but he unstable. Him and his dad, like, he unstable. Somebody I knew. Go ahead,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead,
I was gonna say, speaking on Teofimo, just like keeping it boxing real quick, he got a lot of flaws, bro. He's like a poor man's Roy Jones, and I mean that maybe more like a garbage man's poor Roy Jones. He relies on.
I would not compare him to Roy. Look, this is what Teofimo is, because he ain't like, bro. He just Roy had feet, bro, and he had great timing. Like see, what he is he's like a good, and I don't mean this to be shitty, because I do think he's a good fighter when he's on his shit, but at his very best, he's maybe a B-level counterpuncher. He's a good counterpuncher, strong, fast, but there's things that Regis does, for example. I've often said that Regis's base style is the same as Teofimo's, but Regis has the additives. That he's not just waiting for you to do something dumb. He's using the jab and making you do shit. That I'm not just going to sit here and have all these quiet moments in the round. I'm going to work my jab so I can still win the round on activity. And that alone makes a lot of shit happen. Whereas with Teofimo, and I knew it was going to happen in the Sandor Martin fight, if you got a guy that he's not offering him nothing. He's not trying to get close to you. He moving away from you. He trying to set you up. Tio ain't gonna know what to do. And he didn't know what to do. He looked crazy out there. Didn't know what to do. So he's like I want to say a B level counterpuncher, maybe B plus.
The reason I brought Roy Jones is because I'm saying he relies on his athleticism more than anything. And once he's not really the most fundamentally sound. Like even in the Sandor Martin fight, he had no answer for that check left hook. They made no adjustments. He just kept getting caught by the same shit the whole time.
You mean
the right hook? My bad, the right hook. He kept getting caught by the same shit the whole time.
You're right though. And it's because I'm gonna say that look, what they did with him was good. The way that they were developing him was good, but he didn't trust the process. And that's where I see that shit went wrong. That they had it laid out for you to become a star, but also gain experience in the ring. And where it all went wrong was after the Loma fight. That, bro, you can't think they're going to throw all this bread at you. Remember, the pandemic was going on at that time, bro. Motherfuckers ain't got money like that. And you want all this bread for a Cambosos fight. Bro, that's not a hot ticket, fam. And even if the fucked up part is, T.O. the fighter probably isn't going to know that. The fighter job is fighting. So he probably don't realize it like, nah, we got to slow up and we got to chill. Because we're not going to this not a hot ticket. Like, yeah, I beat Loma and that's cool, but that don't make George a hot ticket. So let's chill. Let's get this out the way. Let's get a big bag after that. He didn't want to do that. And what's fucked up that I see is it's not really him so much as David McWater, your manager. He the one supposed to know that for you. And your manager was fanning the flame for your greed. Like, oh, we supposed to get this now. Bro, we literally coming out of pandemic, man. The crowds ain't even all the way back yet. Y'all wasting mad time on this George guy that by the time you do fight him, you killing yourself to make 135. Killing yourself.
Yo, do you think it's like kind of what Steve Kim said when he said that guys these days they don't want to move backwards at any single point in time. It's always got to be, I got to get more money my next fight. I got to be on pay-per-view. This fight's got to be this huge event. When it's like the person you fighting isn't like that, and you not even like that yet. You had one big fight, you got a lot of money, and then after that, what you should do is just have another fight real quick to continue the momentum, and then maybe we could talk about your third and fourth fight. Then we could speak about you getting away too much, like a big-ass payday for a really large fight. But for now, you got to chill.
That's facts. None of them ever want to go backwards on the money. That's the problem.
Wait, can I say something?
Yeah.
I think Construct, he came on this guy's live stream and kind of explained what T.O. really meant. He said that he felt like he's being basically what you guys saying, he's being neglected, and that how with the Loma fight that he was supposed to actually get a lot of money, but because of the pandemic, he had to take a big pay cut. And he felt like, well, I make the sacrifice. Why can't you guys behind me?
Yeah, but they are behind you. They got you a title shot you don't even deserve. They let you skip Arnold Barboza, who been chasing you for over a year.
Yeah.
Don't see the blessings.
Yeah, that's part of it. But because after the whole, you know how Punch, he said that they wanted $2 million for the George fight. At least, and they said that Top Rank didn't want to give him $2 million, so he went to the purse bid. And after that, he felt like they not supporting me. That's why he attacked them online. And
but look at ponlo tú. Look at how all that shit turned out, bro. I said it. Listen, bro, I'm not bullshitting you. You can literally go back to the videos I did at that time. I said this shit is a bad idea. You don't know who these Triller people are, and you jumping into bed with them over a little $2 million. How does that affect your relationship with Top Rank? That you acting mad extra. You don't want to understand. You ain't the only one that lost some bread. You ain't the only one that ain't get to make the money you wanted to make. Nobody was making money like that at that time. Ain't just you, but that's the fuck you get. You focused on Triller, and Triller, the weird shit is Triller offered you go to Australia because they having fights down there and it's a gate down there. They wanted to do
that.
He didn't want to do that. Who comes in and does that, Jay? do
I
what
don't know.
they
He also
do.
talked.
Devin
Never fucking
Haney.
I don't know what
That's
happened
all.
with. You know, with the talk with the Josh thing, that's what really got me. He said that he felt like he should be in the big room, but they feel like they're limiting him because they
He
put.
wouldn't fill out the big room though. He wouldn't.
But
Like
he
he
said
not,
that how would you? But he's to him, he's like, how would you know if you wouldn't even give me the opportunity?
bro.
Okay. Oh,
He
no,
doesn't look. Shout out to Steve Kim because I spoke to Steve on a number of occasions, and Steve spoke to Cotto. And you know, Steve asked Cotto, like, yo, why was your career so successful? And what Cotto told him is, I trusted the process. And he did. Like, Cotto is a fighter that won some fights and lost some fights. But he always made fucking money, bro. Always made money, you know? Oh, he could have retired a champion if he wouldn't have fucked around. And T.O. is one of these fighters. It's not like it's just T.O. either. It's a lot of fighters that are like this. They don't trust the process. They like, you don't want to understand. Your mind is not a business mind. It's a greedy mind. You a fighter. Focus on fighting. Let the business people worry about business. You want money. You wanted money that wasn't even there. Wasn't even there. And you think that you going to fill out the big room? You not, fam. 20,000 people not coming for that fight. Not because it's not a good fight. I think it's a great fight. But neither you or the guy you're fighting have the profile to fill out the big room in Madison Square Garden. Nah, you bugging. You want to gamble money that isn't even yours because if they took that gamble to do it in a big room, well, they ain't using your money to do that. You talking about them using their money. They would have to risk their money. Now, it's not a good time to do that. Really, it ain't never a good time to be risking no money. So you lucky you have this title shot. You really are. Because Liam Botto was ahead of you. Jose Ramirez was ahead of you. You know what I mean? They let you skip Arnold Barboza. He wanted you.
This title
Yeah,
shot,
and
if
you
you
know,
ask me.
and the last part is that it's kind of a little bit. I think it's a mixture of neglect / jealousy because you know, I think Stevenson he was in the big room over there in Newark.
Yeah, but
And like
Stevenson sell like that though. He
yeah,
do.
yeah, but you know he feel that's what Punch Drunk was stressing. He said like just give them the opportunity, just give them the opportunity, but they won't give. He feels like they won't even do that. So that's why
I'll say this, bro. If they felt, and I don't understand how this is lost on so many people. If they felt that you could sell out the big room, they would let you because they want to make money too. It's not like they don't want to make money or they want to stop you from making money or they want to leave money on the table. If they not putting you in a big room, it's because based on their projections and what they know, which is more than you know, what they know, this fight don't sell out the big room. We won't sell out.
No.
I take it a step further.
Go ahead.
What's it called? The last time he actually fought on MSG, I think that was the big one, wasn't it?
What the Sandor Martin
was it
fight?
not?
That was the Hulu theater, bro.
That was a Hulu theater. Okay, so hold on. Let me. I'm gonna recalibrate what I said a little bit now. Okay, you actually sold pretty well there. A lot of your tickets were sold out, so they're already putting you in a venue they know you could sell and it's gonna look good. But besides that, they might even be worried about that because your last fight, it wasn't an entertaining fight at all, and a lot of the people that paid to show up, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them decided to ignore the ticket sales this time. So I don't really think there's a time that if they gave you an opportunity in the big room, all you're gonna do is make people look bad.
Let me say this, Don Ramón, tú no puedes decir eso. Tú no puedes decir eso. Que cuando ellos están haciendo lo que tienen que hacer, it'll happen. Pero tú no puedes decir, oh, ellos no quieren promoter los latinos. No, that's bullshit because they were promoting the shit out of Lopez, bro. It's their fault he lost. If he wouldn't have lost, where would he be right now? If he wouldn't have lost,
he would be there. But Teofimo kind of promoted himself a little bit. I say a pretty decent amount.
I would say no. They help. What these promoters do that people often overlook is they're investing in you. Where does your purse come from? From them. Who's making the fights? Them. It's a partnership. It's a business partnership. They're making your career possible. Okay, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing on their end. And I can't sit here and say they wasn't promoting fucking Teofimo. They gave him Heisman night. They were promoting him, but you started fucking up. It is
And
what
they
it is.
got him together with Loma for Undisputed.
Also, sorry, I was gonna say this too. Also, Venado Lopez, who you put on the list, that dude was straight up close to being a journeyman at one point. So I'm not surprised he didn't get that much promotion. Murtalia is just getting in, though. I do agree he should get a bit more promotion, but
yeah, but Vargas is getting promotion.
He's getting
Fernando Vargas's kid is getting promotion. I see him more than I see Teofimo.
And that other dude, that before they cut him.
Which one? Xander Elvis Rodriguez.
I heard about him a lot. Like,
and it's their fault he lost. Like, yo, as much as it's a cliche, people really don't be want to understand. Yeah, it's a business, fam. You not buzzing like that right now. Now you know what you can do. Go in there, spank this fucking guy, and then we'll put you in a big fight. We could put you in a big fight with Jose Ramirez for the WBO. That'll sell. It'll sell, and you'll get money because you the champ. Or we could put
Jules,
you in.
Jules, you just hit the nail on the head, Jules. But may I cook for just a minute?
Good.
Okay, it's like, I mean, see, these comments from Teofimo just today, that just further shows that his, just stability is constantly eroding, and me being a black man myself, his comments about black fighters striking a chord with me because, you may be jealous of them or whatever, but it's like they're going out there and doing the jobs. They're looking good. They're doing what we expect. You're not. So I don't know what more you expect. Now you just said it's like go out there, do a job on Josh, and you back in the mix. I just don't understand. He can't see that, but he's become so delusional. And coach, and shout out to you, Coach and Quentin, because y'all touched on everything that I was thinking of. Similarly, because him winning that TO fight is pretty much the worst thing that ever happened to him, more or less, in my opinion.
Yeah, after the Loma fight, he thought that a cloud was gonna open up, and motherfucker just going like, nah,
he
fam.
Thought he made it. He arrived.
Literally in a pandemic, bro. You want money that ain't even fucking out there. Like, the fuck? It's barely any audiences out there. They offered him the chance to go to Australia because, those that watch a lot of boxing, they knew in Australia, Tim Tszyu been fighting, and he fighting in front of fucking 14,000 people. They got crowds and all that down there. They ain't shut down. They wasn't at that time. They had gates and all that. So it's like, yo, you can go to Australia, do it down there, get that money. He didn't want to do that. All right, then, bro. What the fuck you want then, bro? And that shit took, what, 11 months? You wasted all that time,
not
bro.
a year.
You really had to do that?
For the record, did y'all remember when he said, like, he in one of his interviews, this always gets me, like, his delusion is up to high, newer level, like, just extraordinary levels. Oh, we got Crawford and Porter their highest paydays. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Bro, he said, look, he tried to say that he started the trend. He tried to say that he started the trend of undisputed fighters, and bro, Crawford was undisputed before you. What the fuck you talking about?
He was never undisputed, ever.
He was never undisputed.
Usyk was undisputed before you in the World
He
Boxing
was never undisputed.
Series.
Yeah.
Josh Taylor was undisputed before you were, and the list goes on.
But he had the French fries belt. He didn't have the.
Yeah, that's exactly the other shit that he was, and he didn't want to accept that. And I wasn't even like at first, I wasn't even knocking him, but then after a while, it's like, yo, you trying to belittle Devin Haney, and that's when it became bullshit to me. Like, oh, so what you trying to say that you don't need Devin's belt? That's what you trying to say, bro? You got a French fry belt, bro. That's what you got. I didn't qualify that shit when Canelo had it. So why the fuck would I qualify it when you got it? All that mean is, yo, if you beat Loma, which wasn't even the worst thing in the world, if you beat Loma, which you did, go see Devin. That's all. That's a fight we want to see anyway. But you tried to belittle the dude like, oh, well, he don't. All right, bro. Email belt, bro. And look at how it all turned out for you. That email belt shit, you started that shit. Now look at where you at. The universe, bro.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Leo.
Okay, what I'm going to say is not supposed to be clever, but I think Bob Arum and Top Rock made a mistake with Teofimo Lopez, because even if he wins against Josh Taylor, it doesn't. Teofimo Lopez doesn't look like a Top Rock fighter. He don't. Because it's a bad look when they are struggling to make a Loma fight because you want more money, and Loma has to give size of his purse to make the fight. It's a bad look when you don't accept to make the fight in top rank like usual to fight a better deal, and you don't want to travel to more money. And it's a bad look when fucking Barbosa is chasing you and you don't want to fight him. So maybe he stays around on top rank, but it doesn't move like a typical top rank fighter.
He says it's going to be his last fight with ESPN.
Well, that's assuming that he wins. I'm gonna tell you what. He had done. Like, I'm gonna be real because I be forgetting that. You know what? I'm not a journalist. I'm just a fan with a channel. So I'm gonna be a fan with a channel and say, yeah, you a dumbass because you saying shit like that. You saying shit like that. How you think the people at Top Rank gonna feel that you talking greasy? You talking greasy like, oh, this your last fight with us? Oh, well, let's make sure this brown belt stay over here then, because this your last fight with us. You gonna you finna leave, right? Right. So I bet. Better make sure it ain't close. Better.
Yeah, better make sure you knock on Josh Taylor.
Have you guys noticed that unfortunately today in the world we live in an era of fake tough guys, and I think Teofimo is one of those dudes, and I'll tell you why.
He was raised by a fake tough guy.
Exactly. Then I'll tell you why further, because when they did the face-off, when he was supposed to do the face-off with Josh Taylor at the Shakur fight, have y'all noticed Teofimo's demeanor was suspiciously different? Like he was very nice, and he didn't have a lot.
I'm trying to tell you that when Josh Taylor was in New Jersey, you really got to think about it like if it was you. If you Josh Taylor, you got on a plane to go to America to promote a fight. That shit wasn't like, yeah, Josh Taylor was in the neighborhood, so he decided to stop by. That shit was a plan, bro. You were supposed to be there so y'all could be in front of each other. You chose not to be there because what? Because you're at the fucking UFC? Bro, that's scary, yo. It looked like you ain't want to be in front of that guy. That's what it looked like.
Yep. He's tough when his dad is only there. When his dad is only with him, he's tough. He's a tough guy when he's by himself.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Josh wasn't walking down the block. Hey, let me pop into the Shakur Stevenson fight. Bro, that dude flew halfway across the Atlantic Ocean to come to
Jules, you know, I just realized too, bro. What's it called? He just said, oh, you guys, you're giving so much attention to these other fighters and all that shit. Bro, you literally just didn't show up to a fucking conference. You're supposed to do a face-to-face right there. And you think they're gonna really be caring about you? If you want people to start giving a shit, how about this? How about you have 1 year of not being a dick to anyone and not saying it was a scam against you, not dumping on Top Rank? Because he's been doing that a lot, at least once a year. Like last year, he was saying, oh, they set me up and everything. So I don't understand. Why do you think that they're going to be so cool with you if you're not reciprocating any of that back? Of course, I'm not going to fucking promote you. You're a dick to me every time you get on the mic.
And now look what you're saying. Oh, it's my last fight on ESPN. I brought y'all Bud Light. Yo, you are wildin', fam. They will.
All I gotta say is when he goes to New York and the scorecards are oddly 118, 110, Josh Taylor for no apparent reason, don't ask why, bro.
Facts.
Yep.
You know what I was thinking? I'm like, yo, initially the plan was to do the fight in Scotland. So I'm like, oh, they want to do it in New York. So they probably want Tio to win. They want him to have that New York advantage. Because initially it was supposed to be in Scotland. Now they might look at some shit. And look, that's if they hear that shit. I ain't circulating that shit because, I ain't fucked up like that. I ain't trying to be fucked up like that. But if they hear that, oh, this is your last fight on ESPN, huh? So you don't want to be with us no more. Hey, good luck.
Yo, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not. Oh, God. I just have to say this real quick. Bud Light really dropped the ball this year.
Yeah, they did.
They really did on Twigging Barry's girl and Tio.
Let me say this, like that whole shit. Don't say no special words because I don't want to get in no shit. But I'm like, bro, how the fuck was that your idea? Them motherfuckers don't drink Bud Light. Them motherfuckers that the motherfuckers. Let's say the motherfuckers.
Jules.
Them motherfuckers drink Bud.
Jules, so the that VP, she was a woke joint. For real. That's how that happened.
But that's some dumb. Like, yo, you telling me you gonna alienate the alcoholics that love you, the alcoholics that they will die for some Bud Light. You gonna alienate them for some people that don't even drink Bud Light, and it ain't even that many of them. Like, you could tap into that whole audience, and it ain't even that many of them.
They could have had a classy
man on the freeway.
Yeah, for real. Yo, mute that shit. Like, I just want to say they could have chose a classier girl like Laverne Cox. No pun intended, but they, that girl from Orange Is the New Black, that trans woman.
All right.
But they really did, like, they did it over the top with this.
Yeah, but
person that they don't even know.
That does not represent the core demographic of alcoholics and fat middle-aged men that want to drink a Bud Light. See, I'm fake in shape, so I drink Corona because I'm fake in shape. I ain't really in shape. Fake in shape. But Bud Light is for the fat alcoholics, the fat middle-aged men that take in a game in the middle of a Sunday or whatever, fat middle-aged guys, and you gonna alienate them that have been giving you all this money. And that's Teofimo's logic too. You don't understand that they are helping you. By all rights, what the fuck have you done at 140 to deserve a title shot? Explain it.
Yep.
The fuck have you done? You beat Campas, and you technically, a lot of people don't think you beat Sandor Martin, but they got you the shot anyway.
Let me ask you this. Like, even though he stopped Campa, did he look good in that fight? I don't think so.
You know what it was? It was like he didn't look great, right? But
he looked bad though.
He didn't look bad. Now with Sandor, which was your last,
bad at 140 the whole time. He's looked bad at this weight so far.
That's what I thought.
Now I'm saying that
Brandon Lee looked bad against Campa.
He looked even worse than Tio.
Oh shit! Did he now?
Yeah. He looked even worse than Tio. What I'm saying is that they don't see the work or the blessings. They could have fed your ass to Arnold Barboza and started to build him up off of your cadaver. You feel me? That man, we ain't fucking with T.O., man. Let's feed his low ass to Barboza. If you want a title shot, you gotta fight Barboza. How about that? They didn't do you like that. They literally let you skip him, so you could get fast track.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Leo, but at best, Barboza is beat-up, and I thought that Teo could have beaten this guy. Yeah, but when you're not in the right headspace, it's anybody's fight on the night. Yeah, you're not in the right headspace. And I'm gonna tell you what too. The other thing is, it's all good and it's all love that, maybe Tio would have beat him. Here's what I know, because I don't know that, but what I do know is after that fight, that man was on your mind because you went right up to old boy. Don't make me fight Arnold Barboza. Why?
No, and the other thing, Julius. Someone before speak about Teofimo Lopez energy with Josh Taylor. Do you think Teofimo Lopez is now realizing he's not a lightweight anymore because that fucking Josh Taylor guy is fucking huge? I say whatever they want. There is a few people in the super lightweight division that will look tough against fucking Josh Taylor, and a fucking guy moving from lightweight. I don't know.
Exactly. We ain't talking about Matias. We ain't talking about Rigas. We talking about Teofilio. And not moving right. Let me read the super chat. Shout out to Dennis for the beer money. Appreciate you. Off the Ropes says, tall Ken off the ropes. Cheers. T.O. literally unraveling in real time. Sad to see, man. It really is. But I've maintained that it's, you know what, a lot of the fanfare, and I'm not petty, I'm just honest. A lot of the fanfare that Teofimo received was they wanted a guy to beat Loma. So a lot of guys got behind him just because of that. Just it was just hate of Loma mostly. It's not dissimilar from what we saw with Rigondeaux, because how many of those people are left? Loma's overrated. Loma. And all I see as a consumer when it comes to Loma, did I think Loma was perfect? No. But what did I like about Loma? He'll fight. He fought Lopez, didn't he? And he about to fight Devin too? Yeah.
He's a unique fighter. He's a unique fighter, you know. I mean,
as a consumer, like they get all wrapped up in this shit, and I feel like there's people that try to politicize. Bro, I'm not here to politicize boxing. I'm not here for the politics. The guys that fight, I like them guys. The guys that don't, blow a dick. Go away. I don't know. Get out of here.
Yep.
Yo, Jules, I'm gonna drop off. I'll send you a link.
I bet.
Look, that's something that it gets overshadowing because Loma's about to fight Devin Haney. And Devin Haney in some circles is viewed like a guy that ain't shit. Like, everyone is in a hurry to fight fucking Devin Haney. Do you know how many fighters ducked Devin Haney?
The dude that fought last weekend ducked Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Both dudes, not both dudes. Both of them.
But listen, not worse than, see, this is the shit that I hate. Y'all try to act like beating Ryan is some shit. Ryan full on hauled ass away from Devin Haney. That's a fact. You cool to fight Luke Campbell Soups for the interim. But when it's time to fight Devin Haney, you don't want to do.
Nah, Jules, you gotta say it correctly, bro.
And Tank,
remember
Tank
when
Davis
he
never mentions his name. Tank Davis never mentions Devin Haney or Shakur.
Remember when Ryan Garcia, like, what's it called? He went to fight Javier Fortuna. You know what he said before ducking the fight? He said, "Screw Devin. I'ma go and fight good fighters as I do, like Javier Fortuna." I was like, "There's no way we allowing this shit to slide. There's no way." He just said it casually.
It's fucking madness, bro. It is, and they let him. I swear to God, they let him. I don't let him. I never lost sight of that, which is why you always hear, I'm not high on Ryan. What the fuck? I'm not high at all. The fuck? What the fuck make you think? Ryan is not on Devin's level. What the fuck?
I'm annoyed because we used to have Latino fighters that had machismo and slapped asses like Chavez and
not Latino.
And that's what I'm saying. And then we are relegated to Ryan and Tio Nomo. But I just want us to give us our flowers, Jules, because we called Tio Nomo out when he started behaving like this, and all the people are like, "Why you hating on him? Let him change the game. Let him do his thing."
Bro, me and Drew dedicated 2021 to hating on Tail. We hating when we say this Triller shit is not a good idea. We hating.
And I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Kriegel exposed it. All Teofimo is a crack baby whose daddy snitched in New York and ran to Florida. That's all it is. So that's why. Now you see it, Drew. You from the streets too, Drew. You see why he is the way he is now.
I said he's a tweaker, kid. He is a tweaker.
Hey, did you guys see what Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. said about Ryan?
Yeah, he ain't gonna watch him. I
sent you a DM on Twitter.
Let me say this. Look, there's good. Who Mike is that? Fix that shit. There are good Latino fighters out here, right? Not that I'm into it, because I'm not into that tribal shit. I can't stress it enough that I like all the fighters as long as they fight. I like all the fighters, really. But I'm saying that if we get into that, bro, Ryan is not Latino boxing. What? Are you crazy? You know who's Latino boxing? Navarrete is Latino boxing. Valdez, Vargas, Zayas, Zapata, Latino boxing, bro.
And when I say that, you know what
with the porn stash.
Exactly.
Mauricio Lara.
And when I say that, you know what I mean. Regardless of the skill level, there was no bitch in Ricardo Mayorga.
Bro.
Same with fucking Oscar. I don't know about Oscar the promoter, but Oscar the fighter, there was no bitch.
Ricardo ain't even Mexican either, but there was no bitch in him.
He Nicaraguan?
Yeah, Nicaraguan is. Yeah,
he's from Nicaragua.
The fighters would win, Jules, and then they go snort some lines with the fans after the fight. These dudes want to fucking go to their therapist.
Now, DHP says anyone knows whatever happened to the WBC French fry belt. None of these French fry champions get announced as French fry champs anymore. They decided to discontinue with DHP. That's what happened to that. They did decide that shit is done, bro. The last French fry champion, I believe, is Canelo. I believe he's the only one that is the originator of the French fry. But other than that, I think Gadio has the real WBC, no?
And read that super chat. I told you.
Don says, my uncle was locked up with T.O.'s pops. He said T.O. Sr. was in gym pop for 2 days and was never seen again. He was sent to peace.
Wow.
Wow. Bro, you trying to get fucked up out here?
But you called it.
Why
Jules,
am I
you
not
called it about,
surprised?
hold on. Let me cook. Jules called it about all these New Yorkers that leave New York and then get the loudest about claiming New York, like Lil T.O. Both T.O.
No, I'm trying to tell you, it's guys that, bro, you don't even act like that back home. You don't act like that. And they'll go somewhere else and, you just the New Yorkingest motherfucker ever, huh? Just ever. Like, you know what I mean?
Like you said, they used to go on the store runs.
Yeah, go get me a couple of Dutches, bro. Let me get a chopped cheese sandwich.
Ryan and Tio should fight. Ryan and Tio should fight.
Hey, that does good business, though.
That does do good business, but I'll be honest with you that both of them need to be built up. Like, look, Ryan losing this weekend is not a victimless crime. You went into that fight with a lot of marquee value. You took a real hit, and Chavez's comment is proof because that man said he don't even want to watch you, bro.
But you know what? Chavez's comment did damage. By Chavez saying that, it did some serious damage to any credibility that Ryan may have.
And people,
Chavez was talking about Ryan, and then they got him on camera talking about what Oscar De La Hoya is wearing, and it's comedy.
Bro, listen, that shit, quitting. Motherfuckers don't like. Look, Victor Ortiz was supposed to be a guy till he quit. Motherfuckers don't like, and I'm not the one that's saying that he quit. So don't even cherry pick what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it don't matter. Ruiz said he quit. Danny Garcia said he quit, and it's a lot of people on the other side of the business. Don't cherry pick what the fans say. Fuck the fans. It's boxers saying that he quit. All right.
In the
always remember.
Boom Boom Mancini.
In the
Boom
post
Boom
fight,
Mancini said he quit.
In the post fight, he
And
said
Jules,
he
like even like we can all agree, Duran retired on his stool, but Duran already had a Hall of Fame career, and he made up for that.
You can't. This is the thing, and this is why. If you think Duran quit, awesome, right? Awesome. This is a lightweight that went up to middleweight. Now, when you have a career like that, maybe you could quit. Maybe you know, like that. People won't hold it against you that much if you have that kind of career. Now, that ain't Ryan, right?
No.
What the fuck we talking about?
I mean, didn't he go up to super middleweight and beat Jorge Campos?
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck we talking about. You know, you guys like. Fuck we talking
Hey, Jules, I got a question for you. What'd you think about B-Hop touching Tank Davis's lower back on camera like that? Did you think that was shady, or I mean,
why
that was
screaming,
weird?
Country, why are you screaming?
Sorry, man, I don't mean to be screaming. I'm on the freeway driving home.
I honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't want the motherfucker touching me neither. Not because of this and that, but because it's a dirty business. It's just a dirty business. Like, honestly.
I guess my question is, do you think he was up to something shady though? Like, do you think they were really what they were saying about him rubbing hormone cream on Tank was real?
Too open. It's too open-ended for me to outright say, yeah, yo, I think B-Hop was trying to put Jergens on his back. I don't know that, but what I do know is that the business is dirty enough. It is dirty enough that, don't chill, fam. Don't touch me. Like when you hear, if you go to a foreign country, man, I ain't drinking the water over there. All the water I drink is going to be out of a fucking bottle. And it ain't going to be a bottle that you give me neither. I'm get it myself. So I kind of understand that they would be cautious about, like, I do understand, like, nah, chill, fam. Why are you touching me? Go touch Ryan. Don't touch me.
I don't know how much I missed, Jules, about you talking about Tio
But do you think going forward with what he said like a dumbass, it's Top Rank wants to get rid of him?
I mean, if they didn't before, I would imagine that they do now. If they didn't before, if it's your plan to fight in that fight that they put you in that you don't deserve, and take that brown belt and use it as leverage to get a deal with another promoter, yeah, I don't imagine Top Rank is happy about that.
And that's been his MO. We know as soon as he got that Loma win, he tried to fucking fleece them. But what's funny is I got this from my sources inside Top Rank. They had to give away tickets to impress Bud Light after the deal was closed. He didn't even sell tickets for that fight. Go check the comps for that fight.
Because nobody wants to do nobody like and I honestly feel like it's down to the managers to sit down the fighters and explain the situation to the fighters, that if nothing else, David McWater should inform him that, look, we need a high profile win. You need to win this fight. You need to do it emphatically, okay, because we're not in a good position right now. Our marquee value, we're not going to make the kind of money that we want to make unless, something changes. So all you really have to do, focus on your fight and win that fight. Focus on it. And all the money and all the shit that we want is on the other side of that fight. But these guys, they want everything beforehand. You talking crazy beforehand. Yeah, they're not pushing you. You know why? After your own fucking fight, you was asking, yo, do I still got it? You know how you looked, bro. You know how you looked. Don't lie to
He didn't
yourself.
say that by accident. Yeah, he didn't say that by accident.
You know how you looked. So what are we talking about?
I think Top Rank has been very good to Tio, because after that Cambosos loss, they could have put him in there against Barbosa or somebody good, but they decided to give him a tune-up fight.
Exactly.
And
I wish they could have made
then
him Barbosa now.
he didn't even beat Martin
Me too.
convincingly, and now they're giving him a title shot. Like, they're being cool with him, bro.
That's my question to y'all.
Very
Do you
nice.
guys actually, JBN, do you think he did something or did enough at 140 that he should be fighting for a title?
No, para nada, bro. Este vato no ha hecho nada y se está quejando. I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe it.
They don't see they don't see the blessings that, they really could have looked at you and said, bro, we done maxed out this kid. His brain is a bag of cats. Feed him to Arnold Barboza. He's unbeaten.
JVN, you don't think that they motivate the greats and they did it first? They got J-Lo, bro.
I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments pretending like this shit is like out of the ordinary. Like, nah, it's a cutthroat world out here.
Okay, I think Tio actually asked for a title shot after he lost to Cambosos. It's really like he's just an immature guy. I mean, how do you get a title shot after you lost to Cambosos to move to 140?
They don't. I guess he thinks like he finds himself right now, honest to God, in a very fortunate position, because the only reason we're here is because things didn't work out between Josh and Jack. That's the only reason we're here. So fortune itself is smiling upon you like, yo, this is a chance for you to become a champion again. That's what this is. You don't really deserve this. You ain't done nothing at this weight or beat nobody at this weight. You supposed to just get a title shot. There was guys that was ahead of you. Liam Bottle, Jose Ramirez. They didn't make you go through any of them. They got you the shot. And this is once again because he's ungrateful. This is how you repay them. Because you keep thinking that shit is given. Bro, they could have did you greasy, bro. Beat this motherfucker to Arnold. Yo, you don't fight for a title till you fight Arnold. How about that shit?
Or Regis or something.
Well,
Yep.
Regis
I mean, after
wasn't
all
one of
that,
their fighters.
Yep.
But he
After all
could've
that,
won
I mean, it's
multiple.
like
My
they say, no, you good. But after all that, it's like after all they've done for you, despite the fact you don't deserve it, you trash the company, and to top it all off, you try to throw their fighters under the bus by saying black fights. Like, all right, I'll be all right. I'll be like, I hope they cut his ass loose, especially if he loses.
It's indicative of a fucking dope fiend. Remember, Jules? I got the smoking gun on Todd DeBoff. I'm gonna sue them. They blocking me. Remember that shit?
And none of that, but that's the hilarious part. You know what kills me? Let me read the super chat first. Jonathan says, imagine T.O. Sr. and South Cracks. Bro, they probably cousins. They act the same. Will said, you trying to destroy Ryan? I dig it. After what I heard, I wouldn't care if he insert the worst circumstances possible. I hate being hustled. Bobby Light says, If Ryan could stand up right after the count of 10, he could have stood up at the count of 9 or 8. Yeah, look, there's people that feel he quit. And that's not something for this business. That's not something that you want because they're not going to pay their money to see no quitter. Motherfucking Sergio says Tio es tóxico. Plain and simple. Yes, he is. His whole family is. And, back to the point, where did the lawsuit get off the ground? Because you was threatening legal action because they was trying to stop the shit. All that bullshit, right? What I hate about that, it's not even that their team was doing that. It's the dickheads that was rooting them on. Do you know how fucking stupid you sound? You know that the legal process costs money, right? Just to do any of that shit. Do you think it's a good idea to spend money and time on shit like that? That's why he is.
Who's wiping their ass?
Jesus Christ. Who's moving dishes?
Yeah, like the fuck. Shit, I lost my train of thought. I'm like, yo, dog, like
legal proceedings cost money.
All the shit that he's going through is the shit that I literally said, this is what you don't want. While these bleeding hearts, oh, Bob is doing wrong, Bob. No, you're fucking greedy. That's all it is. You're greedy.
That greed is the same thing that cost Mikey Garcia and Andre Ward 2.5 years of losing in court to their promoters.
Basics.
Dude, even Boom Boom Mancini asked the question, what did Garcia do to deserve that fight with Tank? He even was saying that.
Well, no, wait. Well, first, shout out to Anthony. Appreciate the super chat. I mean, the Cash App donation. You can't ask that question about anybody that Gervonta Davis has fought. If you're going to ask that question about Teofimo, what did Ryan do to get the shot?
Thank you.
No, that's what he was saying about Ryan. That's what he was saying about Ryan.
I would then ask, okay, if you feel that way about Ryan, right? What did Gamboa do?
Well, no, this was Ray Boom Boom Mancini that said this, and then he was saying,
I'm saying that to Ray, the question, rhetorical or otherwise, is a stupid question because Gervonta don't fight good fighters.
Right.
I mean,
right.
it's not like if you're a Gervonta Davis opponent, you don't have to do anything to get a shot.
You can't fight a guy like Jesus Cuellar. Jesus Cuellar was coming off of 2 years of inactivity, a loss to Abner Mares. He got a Gervonta Davis fight.
Look at the buzz? Look at the buzz for the fight. That's why he got the fight.
I know that. That look, the real reason you fighting Ryan is because it's the most money for the least risk. Nobody thinks that Ryan is on the level of Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or even Teofimo. Bro, who is in traffic, bro? Mute your mic, please.
Yo, blinker, man. Fuck.
But
now back to what I'm saying. Nobody thinks that Ryan is on the level of these other young guys. But what's the difference? Most money, least risk. It's a no-brainer.
You be shut,
bro.
well,
And he didn't
look
even
how many
wanna
people
take
pick
that
Ryan to
risk.
win this fight.
Exactly. And to Boom Boom's point, like Ryan got a 50-50 split.
The other thing is the value of the fight, right? It's like, look, when you worth some bread, yeah, that opened doors. But I've been saying Ryan ain't worth all his bread because of somebody that he beat. No, it ain't. He ain't worth all his bread because of some high-profile fight that he had or a belt that he won. It's off of Instagram, bro. That's all that was. Because he got the Instagram shit popping and the TikTok shit popping. He not on the level of these other kids. The fuck would Ryan Garcia do with Shakur Stevenson? What?
Embarrassed.
Shit don't make no sense. So the shit that I don't like about this weekend's fight is, look, being popular and being good is two different things. Carl Frampton was more popular than Rigo. Leo Santa Cruz was more popular than Rigo, but y'all couldn't fight him. Y'all didn't want to fight him because you know what the fuck it is. So don't confuse. Yeah, that was a big fight this weekend. It was a big fight. Y'all made money. But don't act like him beating him is some shit. It's not, bro. Ryan is not that guy. He was never that guy. Motherfuckers always knew he's the most beatable out of the young guys. He is.
It was a big fight, make your money. It wasn't 50-50. I had some fucking dude ask me, "You watching the fight? What do you think?" I'm like, "Man, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna watch it, but it don't mean shit." Like, "Oh, you don't like Tank?" I'm like, "Who are the last 5 guys Tank fight?" I don't know. I'm like, "Yeah, don't talk to me about boxing, bro."
There go. I'm like, yo, this shit, motherfuckers swear, you hating, you always hating. I'm asking him to fight good fighters. Don't you want to watch him fight good fighters? That's
No, they
all I'm
don't.
doing.
No, they don't want that, Jules.
The only thing I've been doing I want him to fight Loma. No. I want him to fight Tevin Farmer. No. I want him to fight Burchow. No. I want him to fight Oscar Valdez. No. What the fuck? What the fuck am I watching
What
for?
people fail to realize, or they don't want to realize, is how close this last fight against Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis was closer to a celebrity boxing match than a real boxing match. And they don't want to admit it because they want to pretend this was high world-class boxing, and it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. When was the last time you saw non-boxing media have this much attention on a fight? Like this, to me, that's positive.
No. See,
That's a
you
great
ain't got to
question,
do. No,
actually.
you ain't got to do that because I get it. It's the bag. I get it. I get it. I get. Oh, I understand the money. I do. But the money and the popularity, that shit don't fool me, bro. That kid is cannon fodder. He don't beat Williams.
And to your point, the last fight was Canelo Triple G 2. But I'll tell you this: that same media is not going to be there for Tank Isaac Cruz or Tank Rolly.
I know that. That's why I said, yo, enjoy. I've been saying it on every video and repeat. Enjoy it while it lasts because it's not going to.
Hey, I keep the same energy. I've always said, Tank said that after Ryan Garcia, I want Dev, Shakur, or Loma.
He's not going to fight those guys. He's not going to fight those.
If he doesn't fight one of those guys, I'm done.
Listen, bro, I'm just telling you now.
Floyd, right?
I'm telling you now, he's not going to fight them because what nobody is saying, I don't see nobody saying it. Yeah, you fought Ryan because he's beatable. It's not complicated. It's not.
Wait, Jules.
Let me finish. He's beatable, fam. It's not like you fought a dude that did some shit. He didn't do shit. What the fuck did he do in lightweight? What? What the fuck did he do in super lightweight? Nothing. That's not no Matthias. That's not no pro. Nah, that's nothing. Nothing. So yeah, you fought him. Common sense. Highest risk, least reward. Highest reward, least risk. Of course,
PBC model. The PBC model.
But then he didn't even want to take that fight though, because that fight was made because of Ryan Garcia. So he didn't even want to take the least risk, bro, because he didn't search that fight out. That was Ryan Garcia searching that.
I do agree with that.
But that's why I give him the most credit because for those buys. Because if it wasn't for him, there would be no fight.
And I'm going to tell you now that
just don't drop the price. And just don't drop the price.
Look, the reason that I don't believe for a second that all of a sudden he going to fight Devin and Shakur, they jeopardize what you build. They do. Both of them. They jeopardize what you build. If you coming off of doing a milli, not taking no risk with Ryan, you wasn't under no risk with Ryan, fam. You wasn't. You got to make a fuck ton of money, and that's cool. You going to ride that wave. You're not going to try to fight somebody that jeopardizes that, let alone somebody that ain't going to let you jerk him around, because I'm telling you, them kids is not going to let him jerk them around. Ryan did, because Ryan is a weirdo. He watched Josh Whedon shows and shit. You could tell he watched them Channel 11 shows. Fake ass Flash.
Ryan has the snake in his camp. He's right. He just don't know who it is because Ryan actually had all the A-side leverage if he would have just waited Tank out.
You could tell that Ryan is not a smart guy. Like I wanted to believe he was smart a long time ago. No, you not. You could do what he doing, and you would have made hella dollars. Would have been one or two risks in it. Would have been one or two risks in there you need to take. One or two more manageable than the one you just took on. But you a dummy. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just saying that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder made 100,000. Got 800,000 pay-per-view buys in their second fight.
Neither one of those guys is the face of boxing, so I don't think any. This is not going to matter.
Yeah, this shit is not. Look, this shit is
it's
not
gonna,
real.
It's gonna
bro.
die down.
This shit is not real. Like the most crude example, Wilder, who you just brought up, the fight before last, which was a high profile fight, you brought in 600,000 buys. The next fight, you didn't even bring in half of that. Literally, you didn't bring in half of that.
He did bring 100,000, didn't he?
Not even 100.
Not
It was
75.
70. It was estimated, just the ballparks that are out there, between 75 and 79. That's the numbers that's out there. The same way these numbers are out there, those was the numbers that was out there. It's obvious. They're like, it's childish to me what people are doing. Like, yo, you being childish, fam. I'm not even telling you that Ryan is that guy. I'm telling you, yo, he really helped you sell this fight because you don't do this on your own. You never do this. You've been on pay-per-view 5 times.
Ring IQ. I gotta push back against that, bro.
So when, all right, then when did he sell $1 million? Tell me.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying look at every big pay-per-view fighter in history. They all need a dance partner. Nobody's ever come out the blue and just sold $1 million.
Of course, I'm not saying that he don't. I'm saying y'all did that together. Cool. But if people trying to run with the idea that, oh, now this is it, this is the staple. No, it's not. It's gonna drop down. It's gonna listen. I'm just telling you. Go ahead, fight Rolly.
Well, I don't know, man.
WBA, fight Rolly for the WBA later on this year when he beats the old man Barroso. Fight him. And you
I don't know if it's a dance partner because I'm sorry, I don't need a dance partner. Canelo did what 600,000 with Caleb Plant. So it's like,
please.
No. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. I know you're not the face of boxing. How I know? Go ahead. Go sell $500,000 fighting Rolly again. Fuck it. Don't even fight Rolly. Fight Frank Martin. I think Frank's a good fighter, but go ahead and watch how many people don't buy because you're not the face of boxing.
Hey, I gotta respond to that other dude with the Caleb Plant Canelo.
Yeah.
First of all, Canelo had already built a base where he could do that. He had fought Cotto. He had fought Mosley, and more importantly, he fought Floyd Mayweather. So, like I said, you need a dance partner. That's how he.
No, you don't. No.
Yeah, you do. All right. Let me do this. Canelo's the face of boxing. How do I know? He could sell 500,000 pay-per-view buys fighting a guy nobody knows. 500,000. 500,000. That's a lot.
Thanks to Floyd Mayweather.
Huh? That's not thanks to Floyd Mayweather because did everybody Floyd fought become a cash cow?
No,
but that's because
no, it's not because of Floyd Mayweather.
Talking at the same time. Did Berto after fighting Floyd? Did he go on to sell a bunch of pay-per-views?
No, because Canelo.
Did Robert Guerrero? Did Robert Guerrero?
Look, Canelo was actually.
I'm asking a question. I'm addressing
what you're saying,
and I'm asking a question.
No, they did not. But
what about what? All right. Well, what about Marcos Maidana? Did he become a pay-per-view attraction?
He retired.
Carlos Baldomar.
Okay, then not Marcos Maidana. Then I got you. Okay, what about
Marquez?
Marquez was already in attraction, bro. He already had the things with
Carlos Baldomar.
Valdemir was already an established name. Essentially, what I'm getting at is your logic is flawed. Why? You're saying that because Canelo fought Floyd, that's what made him a cash cow. A lot of guys fought Floyd and didn't become cash cows.
Well, before that, Floyd had to fight De La Hoya in order to build his name.
What does that have to do with what I just said?
Wait, what I'm saying is you just need a dance partner. You can't just come out the blue and become a pay-per-view.
And I'm telling you that the way I know Canelo is the face of boxing is he don't need a high-profile dance partner to sell 500,000 pay-per-view buys.
Can I say something?
Well, let's see what it looks like going forward. You can't just assume that shit.
He just did it last year.
He sold out. He sold out.
No, but what I'm saying is you got to start from somewhere. Like once you get that big, once you cross that threshold,
here you got a guy breaks the indoor attendance record with random British champion. Those people were not there to see Billy Joe Saunders. 76,000 people literally showed up to see this guy fight. Yeah, that's the face of boxing because you could stage a title fight. 76,000 people ain't going to show up. You can stage a title fight for any one of these guys. 76,000 people not going to show up. For him, they came for him.
Can I say something really quick?
is once you cross a certain threshold,
wait a minute.
like for Tank this
Go ahead, Leo.
million,
you're
probably gonna hit a median of around
Let Leo go. Go ahead,
500,000
Leo.
for any fight you go going forward.
Wait.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree with the gentleman that in order to become a pay-per-view attraction, you have to have the big fights. Now, is Gervonta Davis in the right track? Basing in this last fight, yeah, but we are only basing this in this last fight because nothing in Gervonta Davis' career tells me that it's going to become the face of boxing.
I honestly don't think he is. I honestly don't think he is. Yo, whoever got all this crazy shit going on with they mic, mute yourself, please. Now, the main reason, it's not that I'm saying that he can't.
Yo.
What the hell?
Oh my god.
No, it's not that I'm saying that he can't. It's that you're not going to do what cash cows do. You're not going to do what the face of boxing would do. The face of boxing, whoever it is, whether you're talking about Canelo, Floyd, Oscar, Sugar, Roy, they got one thing in common. One thing. They fight the big fights. That's what all the cash cows have in common. It don't matter if they win or lose, they fight the big fights. That's what makes them cash cows, that they have an established track record that if there's a fight that is going to do business, they're going to be in it, right? Floyd is like that. Canelo's like that. They're all like that. They all have that in common. You know what I mean? Gervonta's not going to do that. There are only a couple of fights left that do big business. Only a couple. It's not that many, right? Shakur, Devin. If Teofimo were to win, we'll see. I don't know. You know, I don't know. His head's a bag of cats. But you're not going to fight them. I know that. I've been saying that. Just like I said, this man is never going to fight Lomachenko. Since 2017, it's been empty promises. I knew then this man is never going to fight Lomachenko.
He's not a big name.
Jules, why is that?
Fam,
let me tell you something.
Too many people in a hurry to answer a question for me. You saying Lomachenko's not a big name, correct? Correct?
Who said that?
So I heard somebody say that.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Name, but he's not a no name.
All right. Well, what I'm saying is Gervonta Davis versus Vasyl Lomachenko would have done more business than any pay-per-view aside from the one he just did. That would have done more business than Rolly, than Isaac, than Leo, than Barrios, and who's the fifth? Who's the fifth?
Isaac Cruz.
Hector's the fifth.
Okay.
If you would have fought Lomachenko, you probably would have got between 5 and 6 fighting Lomachenko. You chose to play it safe. You chose to play it safe. You did. Even though the Lomachenko fight literally would have did better business because people really do want to see that, or did. I don't know what's about to happen between him and Devin. I really don't know. I haven't decided. But I'm saying when it was about you and him, that fight with you and him would have sold more than the other 5 pay-per-views you ended up having, and you chose not to do it. Why? It's risky. So do I think you're gonna fight Shakur Stevenson? No, it's risky. It is. Even if you have kind of good odds, it's still risky. Risky enough, you won't do it. You won't jeopardize the safe money.
And what the gentleman's missing, there's a couple points I need to make. What the gentleman's missing is before any guy becomes a cash cow, he's already a Hall of Fame fighter, with the exception of 2 men. The only 2 men that came straight from the amateurs that were already cash moo cows were Sugar Ray Leonard and Oscar De La Hoya. That's it.
Yep.
Because that is true. That out the gate, they was cash cows. That is true.
Out the gate, they had blue chip endorsements. Tank Davis will never get blue chip endorsements, so his crossover appeal will always have a limit.
Yep.
Yeah, the cap on him that I see will prevent him from becoming that cash cow. And look, it's unfortunate, but it just is what it is, you know. The track record is established. He's 28. He doesn't have a track record of fighting the fights that people want him to be in. Oddly enough, his mentor, he does. Before Floyd even fought Oscar, he was fighting motherfuckers.
He was a Hall of Famer.
Before Floyd fought Oscar and crossed over, he was already trying to fight everything. He wanted Oscar before he got Oscar. He wanted Mosley before he got Mosley. That's not Javante.
Before Oscar, Floyd was doing like around 300,000, 400,000 pay-per-view buys.
And what's Javante doing? Is he doing that?
No, a little bit below that, but I'm just saying there was a threshold he was under.
But what we're saying was Floyd already a Hall of Famer before he fought Oscar.
I'm telling you is simple. What I'm telling you is simple. The cash cow becomes the cash cow because they're constantly in the big fights. That's the year mark of cash cows. Anybody who was the cash cow, well, why are they the cash cow? Because they're always in the big fights that people ask them to be in. Eventually, they do it. And you only fought Ryan because it's no risks.
Well, based on the numbers, isn't that proof that people want to see this fight?
I'm not saying I didn't say people didn't want to see the fight. They did want to see that fight. Yeah, they did. Now, are you going to be in the other fights people want to see? Because people don't want to fight Rolly.
Yeah,
it would make business sense to do so.
I mean, I'll put it like this. I don't know.
He's not going to fight Shakur. He's not going to fight any of those guys.
I mean, it would make business sense to do so. Why would he fight like Rayo Venezuela, for example?
Hold on. Can I answer this real quick? What you are saying right now is what we have been saying for years. But yet again, instead of fighting Shakur, well, let's say Devin, who was there for a very long time, he decided to fight Leo. Then he decided to fight Hector. Then instead of fighting Devin, he decided to fight Isaac. He's done this for years.
Yeah, I agree.
Look, there's something that's not being said. And some may not like this, right? This fight made a lot of money because of Ryan and Javante, to make no mistake. But what's not being said is Javante didn't pay Ryan. You do realize that. The value of the show was them getting together. What's different? What's different? If you got to do a fight with Devin and you got to do a fight with Shakur, right? And you tell them, yo, I'm the A side. You got to pay them. You got to make the deal. Because you telling them you the A side. See, people are fooled by the Ryan Garcia fight because they don't understand that size pot was because both of y'all got together. That's why the pot was big. Both of y'all got together. With these other kids, it's different. They don't have Ryan's following. So that creates a situation where you have to pay them, and he won't. He won't. I'm telling you, I know he won't. I know it.
You got to pay you. You got to pay you what you weigh. What did Ellerby say?
That's what he said. That's the difference that you can't do and you won't do for them what Canelo did for Caleb. Caleb gets $10 million, but he's not a $10 million fighter. Hell no. You not no $10 million. What? Hell no.
I want to ask the gentleman this question. Where do you rate David, Benavidez, Tank, and Anthony Joshua? And they've all been professionals 10 years this year.
Where do I rate them? What do you mean?
Yeah, in terms of compare their 10-year career, who's had the better career, who's the cash cow, and who's the Hall of Fame trajectory fighter?
Out of David, Tank, and Caleb Plant?
David, Tank, and Anthony Joshua, who both all turned pro in 2013.
Oh, yeah, it's obviously AJ.
Okay.
I'm saying that those fights was consistent with a cash cow, right? Is the cash cow has the ability to be the cash cow. Like, people are starting to separate the ability from being the cash cow, when what I notice about the cash cow is they are who they say they are. Sugar was who he said he was. He was. He's that fucking guy, man. He's that fucking guy. Oscar for a time was that fucking guy. Manny was that fucking guy. Floyd was that fucking guy. Canelo, yeah, he's that fucking guy. He just unified a whole division in 11 months. He went up to light heavyweight and he didn't get knocked out. Yeah, he's that fucking guy. Ability.
And I'll tell you this right now.
Wait. Damn, I'm in the middle of a point. Talent is a big part of what enables a fighter to be the cash cow, because you have the talent to be in the big fights. I'm telling you, Javante, you had to put a rehydration clause in for Ryan. Why? If Devin was fighting him, would he do that? If Shakur was fighting him, would he do that?
Hell no.
I'm going to beat him. I'm fucking what? I'm going to beat him. The fuck? What took my way for, bro? I don't need that to beat him.
What is going to happen with Gervonta Davis is similar to what has already happened with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder did a good trilogy, and he did great numbers in the box office. But after that, he went to do Jermar Shallow, numbers. That's crazy. That's fucking insane.
Think about it, Leo. His pay-per-view, and I honestly thought, I thought he'll do 300 off of people being sentimental. I thought he would do 300 because, it's a comeback fight. They just happy to see him back. It's not even about the fight. It's just the occasion of seeing him come back. I thought he would at least do 3. Not even
that's bad.
No, but wait, that's a different story because Tank has shown that he can sell out arenas at least the last 5 fights. Wilder has
We're not talking about arenas. We talking about pay-per-view bars. The money is in the bars, not the arena. You can only sell so many tickets.
Okay. Even just a pay-per-view buys, Tank has been more consistent than Wilder outside of the Fury fights.
No, you can't say that because the majority of Wilder's box office fights have been the Fury fights, right? And up until recently, with the assisted aid of Ryan Garcia, Wilder brought the PBC the biggest numbers on pay-per-view. He did 800,000
with the help of Fury.
With the help of Fury, I ain't even knocking that, but still, yeah, he brought them their biggest numbers. Now you, with the help of Ryan, you brought them their biggest numbers of the people that you have. But all right, Ryan's done. What now?
Well, let's see what you do in that Rolly rematch.
But guys, below 147, who's the only fighter that fights on pay-per-view?
Bro, that's not a good thing.
Bro, you could say the same thing about middleweight, bro. Who's the only fighter? Because Golovkin is retired. Let's be honest. That dude is not coming back.
Yeah, he's not retired.
Jermall Charlo's been on pay-per-view. David Benavidez has been on pay-per-view. Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz have been on pay-per-view. Charles Martin has been on pay-per-view. Just because you on pay-per-view, like bro, Regis Prograis was on pay-per-view. I bought it. It's a lot of people on pay-per-view right now, bro. Just because you're the only lightweight on pay-per-view, okay, congratulations. Maybe you're the most popular lightweight. Maybe. But what I know is I don't normally buy your fights. I don't normally buy them. I bought this one because it's a big fight. Let's see what happens. It's a big fight. I'll buy it. But if you go back to Isaac and Rolly, all right, I'm not buying that shit. I'm not.
Yeah. Unless it's another fighter that Tank, I generally want to see him fight. I'm not buying another fucking pay-per-view.
Now, if you tell me that you're going to fight Devin, Shakur, Matias, Prograis,
Loma. You got my money. Thank you.
I will buy that.
I was just about to say that name, Subaru Matias. You would tune in for that, right?
That's a.
Oh, yeah. I would.
I would. Wait a minute, and that's the other thing. If you think that I'm gonna pay to see you fight Subriel Matias at 136.
Right. Okay, yeah, that no.
What the fuck we doing? What are we doing? Roy, I come from the era of Roy. Roy went to heavyweight for John Boy, and yeah. But that's still a fucking heavyweight.
Jules, did you technically Roy was a cruiser? He was a cruiserweight in that fight.
He was.
He was under 200 pounds in that fight.
Motherfuckers,
193.
Motherfuckers keep trying to act like we don't understand nothing. I'm paying to see.
Whose mic is that?
Yo, who mic is that for real? Like the fuck?
Yeah.
It ain't mine. I can tell you that.
Julius, I want to say something really. I want to say something really quick. Hello, I am Leo. I'm from Chile, and coming from a third world country, I have to say this.
It's a first world country, Leo. You know that.
Yeah. And a pair of earphones with a microphone costs $10. That's all I'm gonna say. I always keep it with me in my pocket, and I connect the headphones to not have any issues when I jump in the live of someone else live. So please. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Leo.
Okay, for sure, Leo. Good looking, Leo.
Oh, thank you, Leo. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for real, let's have some consideration. Now, what I'm saying is they try to find ways around what I'm trying to buy. And what I'm not asking you to do a lot. Like literally, I'm not. I'm not going to buy a pay-per-view of you and Matias, for example, if you telling me the fight got to be at 36. Man, fight the motherfucker, goddammit.
At his weight.
At
At his
140,
weight.
please. At 140.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not fucking paying to see you weaken the guy. I want to see a fight. And if you can't do that, guess what? I'm not buying. And I'm just telling you, what sold this weekend's fight is because there were casual boxing fans that didn't know Ryan ain't fuck.
And to add to that, the other guy deserves the same exact chance to beat you as you have to beat him.
Casual boxing fans see Ryan hitting a cobra, but oh shit!
oh my god!
Holy shit!
Shit!
Did you see that shit?
Did you see that shit? They don't know nothing. So look, cool. It's money, awesome. I'm just saying that I'm not a casual boxing fan though. I know that I buy a lot of pay-per-views. I do, but I don't buy his. Usually I don't. Why? I don't want to see that shit. The fuck is this? Isaac Cruz. What?
But casuals don't even buy his fights either, bro.
That's the point, JPM. That's the point that I'm making. Casuals bought this fight because it had two guys. That's why they two guys. Take a Ryan Garcia kind of guy out of it, the numbers gonna dip.
You're gonna get the Wilder. You're gonna get the Wilder Hellenius numbers. That's what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, bro.
People don't want to take into consideration. Ryan Garcia was coming in. You know who Ryan Garcia's television and commercial agent is? The same as The Rock. Ryan Garcia was coming in with a machine.
Yeah.
And people are he's coming in with GMC, Gatorade, all these blue chips, and that doesn't transfer over to Tank.
Yes, it does.
That's the other.
No, it doesn't.
It's like Lugas. Listen, it's like Lugas. We know that Manny is a legend and all the cool shit, right? All that cool, awesome shit. Lugas don't get Manny's marquee value just because he beat Manny. Nah, Lugas, you still Lugas, bro. You don't have no eyebrows.
What did that
Am I going to turn on the TV tomorrow and see Tank in a Hummer commercial or a Gatorade commercial? No,
that's what I'm. This is not Highlander where you beat
Floyd
the guy
didn't eat that
and absorb. This is not Highlander where you beat the guy and absorb all his marquee value. Like, nah, it really ain't like that. You got to keep fighting in good fights. Like, if you keep fighting in good fights, intriguing fights, then yeah, eventually. But you had one big name fight. And now, if you go back to Cruz and Rolly, bro, the
sad part is a lot of people are going to think that he is the face of boxing now because of this thing, and
until his next fight.
Yep, exactly.
The face of boxing, though, but like Saudi Arabia is not calling him for $100 million.
Well, that's the other thing that what the American fight fans don't want to understand is, look, they made a lot of money. They did make a lot of money. They did make listen. They did make a lot of money, right? That's and good for them, right? That they were even able to do that in this unstable market. But reality is that's a one-off, bro. It's not a lot of fights like that are gonna do that out here. Like I'm telling you, it's not. So enjoy it because it's not gonna last.
Hey,
enjoy it.
It's for sure that it did over 1 million pay-per-views, or
I'm doing what I normally do, bro. When the number comes out, I always take the high number. Why? Just for the fuck of it. Why not? If they say 1.2, fuck it. Why not? Fuck it. I just know that it's not a lot of 1.2 million fights left for you. Now, if you thought that, I'm not even disagreeing with that, but I'm saying that if you fought Devin, right? Let's say you fought Devin. Well, fighting Devin will get you more buys than fighting Rolly again. Fighting Devin will get you more buys than fighting Isaac Cruz again. Yeah, it would. It would, because that's a fight people want to see. And I use myself as an example all the time. Would I buy any of those rematches? No. Would I buy Devin Haney? Yes.
If this fight did over 1 million, a fight with Devin Haney will get you at least 500,000.
Yeah, I would anticipate five to six. Shit.
If it did over 1 million, and I'll take them at their word. If it did over 1 million, I'd get a press release.
Now let me read the super chats. I think Ryan should leave Golden Boy. Dealing with the press by himself was brave, more bravery than in the fight, but he shouldn't have had to. Man, Oscar's Oscar's a fucked up dude, man. That's why Canelo left him. Please don't let Polo jump on. I don't feel like hearing bro and like every other word and nonstop cutting people off with bro.
No, seriously though, whose mic is that, bro?
Yeah, who Mike is
That's not
doing
Mike.
that?
We got to do a mic check.
I know it's not country because
it ain't me.
I'm always on mute, so it's not me.
And,
Not
and,
me,
and
'cause I
you know what's
might-
another thing?
muted mine.
The thing that annoys me, make the money, but this face about that. How does that help Showtime's dwindling product monthly that they're putting out for boxing?
Well, it's just like a lot of people have been saying about boxing, that they treat boxing like it's a going out of business sale without making an investment in the future. You did one good show that did great numbers. Do you have 2 more shows like that you could do? Because we got to fill slots for a year.
He could, but he's not going to do it.
Yes, sir.
DHP says we can now all agree Tank is a one-hit wonder. PBC and Showtime going back to fixing his pay-per-view numbers again. Probably, because to keep the momentum going, you have to fight in fights that people want to see. That's what cash cows do. They fight in fights that people want to see. That's what makes them cash cows.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
we already
Do they ring IQ? Do they?
Who's
We
that?
already know
Mike?
they're gonna manage.
Non-rider, are you sure?
Bro, so you didn't see the 3 Golovkin fights? People didn't want to see that.
That was 7 years ago.
We already know they're gonna
bro,
manufacture. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, now you just asked me. 1.2 million people tuned in to see Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis, right?
Yes.
All right, 1 million people, over 1 million people bought Canelo versus Golovkin 3.
Yeah, when it was hot. That was a long time ago.
I'm
Most
talking about
recently-
last year. I'm not
That
talking
was last
about
year, my guy.
You really think it did 1 million?
Here we go with
Okay.
this shit.
Yeah,
Here
okay,
we
yep,
go.
yep, here we go.
All right,
Here we go.
let me explain
Let
this
Jules
to
cook,
you.
y'all.
Let me explain this to you. When a company does an official press release, they're not at liberty to lie. This is not a rumor that you're getting from Keith Idek, Ade Oladipo, or Dan Raphael. The company itself is telling you this is what we did. And if they don't want to get in trouble with the SEC, the numbers have to be accurate, which they are. That's why they did a press release. It's not hard for me to believe that he did 1 million with Golovkin when the year before that he did 800,000 with Caleb Plant. Who's more well known, Caleb Plant or Gennady Golovkin?
Bro, if they tell the sponsorships that they did 500,000, but then they're telling the public that it did $1 million, the sponsorships are gonna sue them because they're paying them 500,000, but it really did 1 million buys. Like they would get their ass sued, bro.
It's not complex. It never is. Like seriously, it's not complex. If they telling you it did 1 mil, Showtime don't do press releases. The Zone does. Why? Because the Zone's numbers are accurate. If Showtime's numbers were accurate, we wouldn't be hearing it from Keith Idek, Ade Oladipo. We'd be hearing it from Stephen Espinoza.
Hey,
Would
Jules,
you be okay?
Think?
Would you be okay with Tank fighting a 40-year-old Lomachenko?
Possibly. Depends on what Lomachenko's doing. Possibly.
If Lomachenko is not looking as good as he used to be, he slowed down significantly. Would you be okay with Tank fighting him? Wouldn't you be saying, "Well,
Golovkin
now
looked
you
all
want to
right.
fight him"?
Golovkin looked all right with Murata. He stopped him. That was a fun fight.
Hell yeah, it was.
Murata, but he's a domestic level fighter.
Were you gonna buy Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have.
Okay, so what do you call that?
He was 42 years old and he hadn't fought in 2 years.
I wouldn't have given him like this is
Nobody's giving him that. You're changing.
Did you buy Pacquiao versus Ugas? Did you buy that?
Hell no.
So then how you?
Okay.
I'm not a fan of Ugas. I like Earl Spence. That's the only reason I would have bought that.
Yeah, but you still moving the goalposts because if you downplaying Golovkin, who actually fought that same year, but you was okay with Errol fighting a guy that hadn't fought in like what 2 years, and he was 42.
Yeah.
Because the reason I'm doing that is because Golovkin is doing the same shit that Keith Thurman is trying to do right now. He's trying to get that last payday so he can retire.
Yeah, but unlike Keith Thurman, Golovkin fought that year.
He unified
against the domestic level fight.
He still fought. That's more than Keith did.
So you're saying was Isaac Cruz better than Ryota Murata?
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
comparing different weight classes. I don't understand. But either
Domestic is not exclusive to a weight class. What is Isaac Cruz if not a domestic level fighter? Who did he beat?
Nobody.
Cruz is dangerous.
Plus Golovkin.
What makes him dangerous? What makes him dangerous? Who he beat?
He was a late replacement.
Out.
Who he knocked out?
Even in the fight itself, yes, Tank had a broken hand. Isaac Cruz showed he.
And they named 5 guys on Isaac Cruz's resume.
Yeah, because you trying to tell me he's this excellent fighter. You trying to tell me he's this excellent fighter. Who did he beat?
I'm saying he's better than people thought, and he's a little bit better than Ryan Garcia.
We don't know what people. Who did he beat?
Nobody. I think Magdalena's probably his best win.
So then, why am I supposed to look at him as anything other than a domestic level fighter?
His biggest win is a Shaq Gamboa.
Yeah. Well, because you're trying to denigrate Ryota Murata, who was a champion and was a unification.
Like you said that the face of boxing is supposed to give the fans what they want to see, and all I'm saying is nobody wanted to see third Triple G fight. Nobody.
And we don't want to watch. Damn, dog.
Yeah, Golovkin's not the face of boxing, you know.
Okay, if you saying nobody wanted to see it, why did a million people buy it? Why did they sell out? If nobody wanted to see it,
it's hard for me to believe that, but okay, let's go with those numbers then.
Why did I pay $1,000 to get into that fight? I was there.
Did it not feel like there was more buzz for Canelo?
Bro, you talking about feelings and shit. There you go with the feelings and shit again. Here's what's funny. Canelo versus Golovkin 3 sold more than Tank's first 5 pay-per-views. So if you telling me nobody wanted to see Canelo versus Golovkin 3, I guess even less people wanted to see most of Gervonta Davis's fights.
Bro, this guy still doesn't believe this fucking fight did 1 million pay-per-views. No mama's way. Like, are you
It's legalese, yo. It's legalese, bro. It's legalese. Like the weird shit is they can come out and tell you. They can come out and tell you this is what we did, but they would sooner accept rumors and hearsay about Gervonta.
I'm gonna believe a CEO of a company that put the numbers out, or Keith Edek that doesn't even have the
Unico Cocho.
What?
I think this guy's Mirage, bro.
Jules, did Canelo?
I think this is Mirage, bro.
Yeah.
This guy.
Jules, did Canelo sell out a stadium in a day?
Yeah.
But nobody wants to see that fight, right?
That's the point I'm making. That's the point that there's these weird.
You guys want to see John Ryder? Be honest.
Yeah, I like that fight.
Yeah, John Ryder.
Hey, no. I'm going to that.
Wait a minute. If you sitting here telling me that you okay with Gervonta and the guys that he's been fighting, what's wrong with John Ryder?
I have never said that. I specifically said I want him to fight.
So what did you? But you just tried to sell, bro. You literally just tried to sell me Isaac Cruz, who has no top 10 wins.
No, I didn't.
You said he's a good fighter. You said he was
knocking motherfuckers out.
All I said was he's better than I thought.
No, you said he was knocking motherfuckers out.
Let me tell you what. He's a dangerous motherfucker. Here's what I know. Not only is John Ryder his mandatory, which is one thing, but he actually has beat people. He actually has had good fights. Outside of what Isaac did to Gervonta, you can't tell me one noteworthy thing this man did.
Okay, let me tell you what I actually think about Tank Davis, because I believe you're trying to put some words in my mouth. I've always felt that Tank, I don't like the way he's moving. They obviously move him like a commodity or a ticket seller. So he said most recently, him and Floyd are not on this, cool anymore, allegedly. So now that he's not with Floyd anymore, I expect him to fight the fights that we want to see. And if we don't get those fights, I'm not fucking with him anymore.
And he's not.
You're not gonna be fucking with him. You're not gonna be fucking with him.
Listen. If you still, wait a minute. Fuck, Davis already played with your time, bro. Davis's team was the ones feeding people empty promises about a Lomachenko fight. That shit never happened. He fought Ryan instead for obvious fucking reasons. So if you still giving him the benefit of the doubt, you always gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Hey.
You like this ain't no new shit. He been lying to people.
Previously, Tank has never actually specifically called these people out. He specifically said these names: Loma, Devin, and Shakur. So I expect him to follow through.
Yeah, but he's not gonna.
He's not.
with
He
an
won't.
Why?
he's with an
He won't.
outfit that does it.
If
He's
you're
with
a
an
Hey,
outfit
Jules.
that usually doesn't.
hey,
He's with
let
an
me finish.
outfit that
If you're a
doesn't do
Canelo
that.
fan, you
He's
should
with an
want him.
outfit that
Goddamn.
doesn't do that.
You should want him to fight.
Wilder promised AJ and he didn't give us that. So I
I
mean,
don't care about Wilder. If
yeah,
you're
Hey,
but
a
hey,
Wilder's
Canelo
with
Jules.
fan,
I'm
PBC.
switching my computer. Can you let me back in real quick? Thanks, bro.
Good, man.
and if you're a Canelo
Yeah.
fan, as the face of boxing, he should be defending his belts at 168 against the most dangerous people, which is guys like Morrell, Benavidez, and he should allow Bivol to challenge his belts at 168 because you can't have your cake.
Nah,
and
you just honestly, it sounds like you, bro. Can I talk? The fuck. Now, you got all these requisites for a guy who has already been there and done that in ways that Gervonta hasn't, and many other fighters haven't, including Errol Spence Jr. But you have all these requisites for him and none for them. That's why most of the panel is not going to agree with what you're saying. You saying that about Canelo like he didn't literally unify a division in 11 months. A division David was already in. You could have unified this division. Isn't it your promoter on camera saying in plain English that you delayed the Caleb Plant fight? You wanted to wait? All right, well, that's what the fuck you get. That's what the fuck you get.
Caleb
Canelo, like this, it's weird that among certain fans, the fighter that's proven still has more proven to do, but nobody else does.
you don't hold the face of boxing to the same standards as everybody else.
You're right, because the face of boxing is already proven. That's why you do all that. You don't do all these different things that Canelo did to bow down to Joe Blow.
Well, when Floyd was still active, people still want him to fight guys like Keith.
Why is Floyd everybody's crutch? Why does everybody bring it?
We got to keep
Floyd
the
is
same
always
energy.
the crutch, as if I did something to Floyd. Well, I said something about. I didn't say shit about Floyd.
Yeah, where did Floyd come from? He's done.
We talk about active fighters.
Is Floyd like this tragic figure in some people's mind? Poor
Yes.
Floyd.
Yes, he is.
Well, he
Yes.
suffered so much.
And will people want to
Poor
have
I still had
Floyd.
better hands when he was around.
I grew up in the Floyd Mayweather era.
Yeah, when he was around, he's not around no more.
Floyd is done, bro. Let Floyd go. Floyd was in a pay-per-view that you likely didn't buy. Stop pretending you care about Floyd because you don't.
Hey, look.
Can I ask you what was the last
time,
Canelo? What was the last Canelo fight you bought? Canelo fight you bought?
The last one? You
Yeah.
want me to be honest?
Yeah, because you're going to prove our point right now.
Canelo Plant.
Exactly. You didn't buy Canelo Bivol.
I thought Canelo was gonna win that anyways, but
You didn't buy Canelo Bivol.
I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. I'm gonna make it as listen. I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. The reality is, more people that pay money are on Canelo's side than Gervonta's side. This weekend's fight is no example of anything because that was two fighters coming together to make a big show. Without that other fighter, you're not going to do those numbers. But Canelo, he's going to keep doing numbers. It'll be in between 500,000 and $1 million. That's his ballpark for what he
even
does.
with John Ryder.
Because the track record is established. Like, this dude has consistently been in big fights. The Mayweather fight, the Cotto fight, even the Khan fight. 600,000 at the box office is bigger than most of what Gervonta Davis has done. Bigger than everything Errol has done. Bigger than everything most of these guys have done. Just the Amir Khan fight in terms of sales. All right.
Is that before or after Floyd?
You keep saying that. Oh, so the reason that people, bro, let me talk, fam. You're saying the reason I buy Canelo's fights is because of Floyd. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm saying Floyd was the perfect jumping point for Canelo's career.
Then how come everybody else didn't go on to sell a bunch of pay-per-views?
Because unlike
We
those
just
guys,
went over
Canelo
this.
actually did some shit in his career.
Here's the misconception people don't know.
All right, it's too many people jumping in for questions that I'm trying to answer. Fam, chill. So is the reason Canelo sells because he did something or because he fought Floyd?
I mean, it helps having a guy like Floyd on your resume.
So did it help Roberto Guerrero?
I just said Canelo actually did some shit after that.
So is the reason he sells because he fought Floyd or because he did something?
He took advantage of it.
How? Tell me.
When you fight these big superstars and you go on and do some things in your own career, that clout that came from that big fight, people are going to, hey, I like this guy.
So you're saying
a lot of people were introduced to Canelo via Floyd.
That's not true. That's definitely not true.
It's
Canelo
2.2
Alvarez
million
was
pay-per-view buys for that fight. A lot of people were introduced to him in that fight.
bro. Canelo was already the only reason Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez was because he was already doing numbers.
Yeah,
it's the only reason.
I'm not denying that. And Ryan, just like Ryan Garcia, also had a
exactly. The only reason Gervonta Davis fought Ryan Garcia is because he knew that would do numbers. What you're telling me is that Canelo became a cash cow because he fought Floyd. A lot of guys fought Floyd. Only one of them became a cash cow. So I think the reason he's a cash cow, it's not because he fought Floyd. A lot of guys fought Floyd. They didn't become cash cows.
And another thing to add to that, you know why Floyd had to fight Canelo his second fight? Because Les Moonves, the money they lost on the Guerrero fight with Floyd, they forced him to fight Canelo early, which is why Al Heyman wanted to sign him, and that's when they took all of Oscar's fighters, and the fix was in. Had Canelo made that fight competitive, he already got a draw on one card. He was going to get that fight. It was fixed.
The point I'm making.
What are you talking about?
The point I'm making is, for some reason, people like to pretend that Canelo sells fights because of Floyd. I think that these people that say this, and I'm not trying to be offensive, but I'm being honest. I honestly think that that's a sickness. Something got to be wrong with you. I have never bought a Canelo fight because of Floyd. What the fuck does Floyd have to do with anything? I bought the fucking fights because they're good fucking fights. Simple. There's this feeling that Floyd has to be this saint that bro, ain't nobody sitting around here buying Canelo fights because of fucking Floyd. And you're talking to a customer. I buy a lot of these fights. Floyd is the last fucking thing on my mind.
So IQ. So how did Floyd go from a certain pay-per-view numbers all of a sudden jumping up to 800,000, 1 million after De La Hoya? Is De La Hoya not a good jumping point?
By fighting people.
By fighting De La Hoya, but he had to have De La Hoya.
No, it's not just because he fought De La Hoya. Did fighting De La Hoya make the Berto fight sell a bunch of pay-per-views?
No, but he did more for Berto than he did.
What about the Mosley fight?
But he did more for Berto than he did against Gotti, for example.
But it didn't do 800,000, right?
Gotti was post-Oscar.
And Gotti. The other thing is Gotti was a draw unto himself. So we can't pretend that did. We can't pretend that did what it did just because of Floyd. Floyd was on the come up. Gotti was the name.
Gotti was the A side in that fight.
Here's the other illusion. Floyd did numbers, and I know that some people don't like to hear this, other people. Floyd did numbers because he fought good fighters who could draw. He wasn't doing numbers just because people love Floyd so much. A lot of people didn't love Floyd. A lot of people still don't like Floyd. Yeah. But he did good numbers consistently. Why? Because he consistently fought good fighters. You by yourself, you know what you by yourself are? Berto. That's you. Off your name. That's you. When you fought Mosley, what did Mosley do? He beat the fuck out of Margarito. That's what helped sell that. I know because I grew up in that era. That's what made it spicy. That Shane beat the fuck out of Margarito. That Mayweather fight's gonna be good. That's what sold that. This ain't no make-believe after the fact Monday morning quarterback ass boxing fan. I watched all those fights. I know what the fuck sold those fights. Cotto was just coming off of avenging a loss to Margarito. That's what sold that fight. Cotto had fans. Today's fans have some weird shit where they think everybody that bought those fights was buying them for Floyd. Also, Cotto didn't have nothing to do with that, right? Mosley, he didn't have nothing to do with that, right? Pacquiao,
they had nothing to do with being on Cinco de Mayo or Mexican Independence Day.
Exactly.
Canelo. It doesn't matter whether they love you or hate you as long as they buy it.
How old are you, bro? Dirk, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Exactly. I fucking knew it. I'm like, bro, I grew up in that era. Do you want to know why people bought those fights?
Yeah, Floyd. I'm saying, does it matter?
I'm not even saying Floyd don't got nothing to do with it. The weird thing that your generation likes to do is you like to tell my generation why we bought the fight. It was just Floyd. That's why.
Matter of fact, I got a question for Dirk. Right quick. Dirk, were you here before? You seem familiar. Is this your first time here? Before. Okay, got it. Oh, okay, I just want to make sure.
Let me fucking clarify that nobody's buying Canelo fights because of Floyd. That's what that's some weird Floyd Mayweather cult shit. Only they say that. I buy a lot of Canelo fights. Floyd never had nothing to do with
That's
that.
not what I'm saying.
You bought
You're
Clarissa
putting words
Shields
in my mouth.
fight.
No, I'm saying. Let me explain myself, please.
I heard your explanation. You're saying
well,
that
then
for
why are
the
you
simple
saying
fact, you're saying that for the simple fact that Canelo fought Floyd almost 10 years ago, that's what helped him start selling. No, it isn't. A lot of people fought Floyd and didn't sell shit afterwards. A lot. Most of them. The reason Canelo kept selling is, you know why? He kept fighting in fights that people want to see, because
And
that's
people
what
appreciate
sells fights.
and people appreciate his style. They like his
Okay,
style.
no. What I'm saying, before Canelo fought Floyd and before Floyd fought De La Hoya, they were at a certain. They did good numbers, but it was at a certain level. But after those two fights, they reached a new stratosphere going forward.
That's also bullshit. That's also bullshit.
How's that bullshit? That's the truth.
Floyd, Canelo fought Lara after Floyd. What did that do at the box office?
I don't remember.
Just
I know
under
you-
300.
Exactly. You see, this is the weird shit that this generation
Had
loves.
he done 800 before?
No, bro. Let me talk. One, it didn't do 800. It did 300. Canelo didn't all of a sudden start doing massive numbers after Floyd for the simple fact he fought Floyd. It wasn't like that. The Cotto fight did some big ass numbers. Yeah, that one, because it's Canelo and Cotto, 50-50 fight. Most people don't remember it that way, but I do. I remember going into the fight, a lot of people couldn't make up their minds who were going to win. They thought Canelo was a cement-footed fighter who wasn't as good a boxer as Cotto, but Cotto being older and smaller, he might lose. 50-50 fight. That's what sold that fight. Has fuck all to do with Floyd. Fuck all to do with
And who
Floyd.
was the A side in that fight? Jules, remind us.
Cotto.
Bro.
They fought at super Cotto weight. 155. That was super. No, most people don't remember.
Yeah.
That was super Cotto weight. He started that when he moved up and fought Sergio and Gil.
Yuri Foreman.
That's super Cotto weight. He started that.
So what you're telling me is Canelo had to fight three people with a bigger profile than him in Mosley, Cotto, and Floyd, and that didn't help him build his name?
No. See, I'm not saying that it didn't help him build his name. I think you're overstating the role of the Mayweather fight, because a lot of people fought Floyd Mayweather, and mostly none of them became cash cows after that. What you're trying to say is that Canelo is successful because of Floyd. That's bullshit.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it helped build his name, and that's undeniable, bro.
Bro, I could say the fucking Alfredo Angulo fight helped build his name.
You know what did more for what did more for Canelo than fighting Floyd was fighting Triple G.
Honestly, yeah.
Of course. I'm not saying Canelo didn't.
The other thing is when Canelo fought Triple G the first time, do you know that people weren't calling Canelo the face of boxing?
No.
That calling Canelo the face of boxing is a fairly recent development. It is. They called him the face of boxing after DAZN was willing to put up $365 million to bring him on board. It wasn't up until after the second Golovkin fight that they called him the face of boxing. Now, bear in mind, this is after he's been involved in a huge pay-per-view with Mayweather. 2 successful, over 1 million pay-per-view buys sold with Golovkin, 1 million pay-per-view buys with Chavez, 900,000 with Cotto, 600,000 with Khan. That's when they started calling him the face of boxing. And people are trying to tell me that because this fucking butterball got Ryan's help, he's the face of boxing? Awesome. Let's see what you do after that. Face of boxing.
He was shamed into fighting Triple G. People don't realize that. He couldn't get a taco in San Diego without being asked about Triple G.
They give it. I always say that they set the bar exceptionally low for Javante, like he's the retarded kid. Like, let's make it easy. Good job. You told him. Good job.
Can you tell me, was Canelo actually the number 1 pound for pound guy at the time he fought Golovkin at the first time? I don't think he was.
Nope.
Was he? He wasn't even in the conversation. I know.
Well, it was between chocolates. It was 3 guys, bro, and one of them I didn't even want to accept. But it was 3 guys in that conversation, really 4. It was Chocolatito, unbeaten at the time. Golovkin, of course, you know ESPN was on his fucking nuts. Lomachenko, some people was on his fucking nuts.
Andre Ward.
And Andre Ward. Those was the guys that was in that number 1 conversation. not Canelo.
Canelo wasn't even in the conversation.
Wasn't Crawford there at the time or nah? Was that like
Not yet.
2017?
Not. He was on the list, but he wasn't considered number one. Now, when people really started taking in that idea that maybe he's number one was after the Longdongo fight. After he became undisputed, it was like, yeah. And when he went up to welterweight and beat the fuck out of Horn, that was a more accepted notion that, yeah, Crawford might be pound for pound number one. Because you got to remember what happened. Chocolatito gets smoked by Sorung Visai. Andre Ward retires. The next man in line was Crawford. So it was kind of a process of elimination thing. But obviously, Canelo's having these fights. Canelo starts gaining ground on Crawford or whatever. He becomes number one for a while. And what I'm trying to communicate is, you see how easy they want to give it to Gervonta? It took a lot of pay-per-view buys before Canelo was called to face a boxing. A lot. Oh, you think you're hot shit because you sold 1.2 million? Yeah, Canelo's done that already more than once. This is your first time. He's done that more than once. He could literally do it again.
Who says it's 1.2?
Jules, here's the thing: if he fights Benavidez,
he's a hype job.
If he fights Benavidez, that's everyone says that's the biggest fight in boxing. That's the face of boxing fight right there. If he fights,
not only do I guarantee that if they fight, and I really wish they would fight, because oh my god, I might have to change my pants if they fight. I might nut when I see that motherfucker get knocked out because he's just basic and he fooling people. And listen, listen, he better be careful with Morrell. You better be careful. You better be careful.
Not gonna happen, Ring IQ.
Bro, that's what his own promoter's saying is, so we'll see.
Also, you say that Canelo will just dominate Benavidez, but can you tell me one elite level fighter that Canelo has dominated? Because I've never seen.
Can you tell me one elite fighter that Benavidez dominated?
Would you consider Caleb Plant elite?
Yeah, and
Canelo knocked him out.
Y'all gotta stop interrupting. I'm trying to answer the question. When Caleb, who I think, let's call Caleb elite, Canelo smoked this man. Smoked him. Easy. And he did, it was what I said, exactly what I said. Knocked him out. David, you're literally bigger and younger than Canelo, and you couldn't even drop this guy. And before we go with the styles make fights, yeah, I know. Benavidez's style is a knockout puncher. Where was the knockout?
Well,
so what I see is, and this is a huge red flag, when you step up in class, you can't stay in character. That's what I see. That's all I need to see. When you step up in class, you're not the same guy. You didn't dominate, Caleb. That's bullshit. That fight was a tale of two halves. He won at least 5 rounds in the beginning. First 6, he won at least 5 of those rounds. Until he got tired, you didn't even get in the fight. You had to get tired first, which is what I said would happen. Caleb's going to do okay. He's going to do all right. But he's going to get tired from having to move around so much. That's when Benavidez is going to start to hit him. Even I thought that Frankenvidez would knock him out. You couldn't even knock him out? You couldn't even knock him down?
But why are
Canelo is 5'7". He knocked him down. You are 6'2". More reach, more height. You supposed to be so fucking strong.
Actually, Memo shake. Memo Heredia in the corner.
This is not the shit. This is not the shit. I done seen a lot of great fighters come and go, and I can tell you that not one of them had that sucker ass shit going on. I seen Roy come and go. I lived through that. I lived through Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Man. That's not what happens when you who they say you are. That's not. And
that goes to my point. Who's calling David Benavidez elite after 10 years? He's not an elite fighter.
I don't think he's an elite fighter at all. He's a guy who reminds me of Teofimo. Why does he remind me of Teofimo? I said it after the Loma fight. Look, you did what you did with Loma, and that's cool. But when you get to 40, you're not going to be able to stay in character. I think that about David. Go ahead, go to light heavyweight. Watch how you don't stay in character. The elite guys, one of the elite qualities of the truly elite fighters is they can go upstairs. Andre Ward, he went upstairs, didn't he? Took on the Crusher. Didn't he? He went upstairs. Canelo.
I hope Canelo has the same level of confidence you do, and he takes that fight. Because
if he fights Bivol, I can't call that a duck. Bivol beat him.
Bivol has claimed.
You just said you didn't buy the Bivol fight, so you didn't think exactly. Like, come on, man.
No. I'm talking. Well, why was first of all, Bivol has said that he wants to fight Canelo at 68.
That's cool.
Will Canelo
68, 75 is still a dangerous fight. More dangerous.
Yeah, no. But at 75, Canelo doesn't lose anything. He doesn't lose any belts. People are gonna make the excuses that he was too big, anyways. But
he is too big. That's not an excuse. He is too big. That's the truth.
Okay. Well, I mean, I thought it was.
What is it about this generation that they think? Your generation is very weird. Yes,
Kovalev was big too. He still beat him,
but old. Old. He was old. That's the truth. He was old and he was weak to the body. What I'm saying with Bivol is simple. Yo, dog, you hit your ceiling at 75. I don't even think he should fight Bivol. If it's up to me, you fight Benavidez. That's a way easier fight. It's way easier.
Easier?
Yes. Okay. It is
Did
easier.
Kovalev have a belt?
You're in for a rude awakening.
Yes, he did.
I pray to God.
What rude awakening am I in for, bro? What he gonna do? What he gonna do? You know what's even weirder? Where was the with Plant? Where was it?
Hey, that man was holding on for dear life.
Exactly. Excuses. Excuses. You're bigger than
not
him.
hold on for
You're
dear
not
life?
just listen. You're not just bigger than Canelo. You're literally bigger than Caleb. You couldn't. So the reason. Let me see if I understand this. The reason that you couldn't knock this guy out and stay in character is because he kept holding you. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I want you to go after you get off of here. Just put in Tyson versus Bruno 2. Frank Bruno was holding on for dear fucking life. Even the ref, even Mills Lane got, can you cut that shit out? Cut that bullshit out. Did all that holding stop Mike from knocking his ass out?
No, it did not.
No. Because if you are who you say you are, that's what happens. Now, I've seen enough boxers come and go that I know you're not who you say you are. I know that. Looking at him. The shit you doing, that's not no elite level boxing. You just fighting guys that they so stationary. Of course you could. That's not even a combination. That's a shoe shine.
But
you don't possess. Your own game. This is David Benavidez's game plan.
It's not like Canelo's going to be dancing around the ring when he fights Benavidez.
Game plan.
Canelo's not going to be dancing around the ring. I don't think that at all.
No,
David's going to come for Canelo, and Canelo head movement, upper body movement, rolling counter, slip and hook. It's a lot of tools. And I don't know how people watch these fights and like you can't see what's going to happen. I guess not. I guess not.
He didn't buy the fight, so he don't watch them, Jules. He didn't buy the fight. He don't watch them.
This is a misconception. Why do we act like Benavidez is just some big, goofy?
Because he is just some big, goofy.
He's very
unskilled.
He's very
Of course he is.
This is a guy that lost. This is a guy that
lost.
What
skills? All right, so tell me, what's his skill? Because what I can see. No, he's not a counter puncher. Don't even play with him. That dude is not a counter puncher. You know what? He's a volume puncher. He's literally a volume puncher. Counter punching is Alicia Baumgartner. Counter punching is Regis Prograrius. Counter punching, Teofimo to a degree. He's a decent counter puncher. Even Javunta, he's a counter puncher. He wait. That's not David. David is. That's
you know what the Benavidez is? Benavidez punches.
Is definitely a decent
wait.
Wait. Countering.
No. Benavidez.
That's how he knocked
out. It's a mistake. It's a mistake that people made because they see people throw hooks at the same time, and one of them land, and they say, "Oh, that's a counter." No, you're punching with him because you know you can take the punch. And that's his Benavidez. Benavidez is strong.
Counterpunchers set you up. That's what makes them counterpunchers. They set you up. They either condition you to look at the jab and hit you with a shot you don't see, but they set you up. Whether it's a pull counter or they condition you to look at one hand instead of the other. That's not David. David is a volume puncher. That's what he is. He can catch you. He can catch you in between the shots, but that doesn't make him a counterpuncher.
Counterpunchers aren't volume guys.
Hey,
Yeah, exactly. Counterpunchers are the opposite of volume guys.
It would be humiliating to lose to a guy with no skills. Then, if that's
He doesn't. He's not going to lose. And here's the thing: David Benavidez' only skill is having the best cardio in the division. He waits for the other guy to get tired. He doesn't set him up with nothing.
That's the other thing. That's all he. The only elite quality that I see in David, it's not power. It's not shot selection. It's not footwork. You don't have feet. That's why you was throwing them big dumb punches and Caleb is gliding around the ring like he on figure skating or whatever. What you have that is elite, that actually is elite, is an engine. The guys that get tired and then you can start hitting them. But other than that, all your other shit is truly basic. You are food for the gods at light heavyweight. You don't do nothing better than nobody at light heavyweight.
Bro, the elite thing he possesses is not even a boxing skill.
Wait, fellas, hold on, guys.
Go ahead,
Drew, let me say this. Drew, let me say this. Hey, Dirk, you should meet Mirage. You two have a lot in common. You get along.
No. The only thing me and Mirage agree with is the Benavidez thing. But outside of that,
and I'm sorry that. Let me read these super chats because they've been sitting a while. We can all agree Tank is a one-hit wonder. PBC and Showtime. I'm going to go back to fixing numbers. People keep saying Mayweather made Canelo. People forget when Canelo lost to Mayweather, Canelo had to rebuild. His stock took a huge hit, which is true. Floyd has nothing to do with it. I mean, like, I don't know why people say that. I just think that comes from, that's like a microaggression. The only reason Canelo sold is because he fought Floyd. Well, Andre Berto fought Floyd too, and he never went on to sell shit.
What did Floyd do? What did Floyd do in that exhibition fight in London if he's such a huge star?
That's what I'm saying. He literally, these guys love Mayweather, but they don't like to pay for him. When I see
Mike Tyson,
and yet he's done more pay-per-view buys than anybody. Somebody's paying for him.
Bro, you talking about when he was fighting boxers? Yes, he was doing more pay-per-view buys than everybody. What is he doing today? Did you buy his last fight?
No, he's retired, bro. I don't care about exhibition.
Then why you bring him up?
Why you bring him up?
Because he was the last face of boxing.
So you don't think Canelo is the face of boxing?
No, I was saying he was the last one before this current era.
Yeah, I guess. I'm willing to bet one of them fools that Tank versus Rolly versus Cruz does less than 300,000. Me too, because nobody.
I just want to know, like with this David shit, why doesn't David go up to 75 and beat Anthony Yard, Bivol? Better be it.
Because he know he fucking.
Don't try to change it.
No. Listen. Canelo arriving at super middleweight is a fairly recent development, and people don't realize that. Canelo's campaign to become an undisputed champion is only a little over a year old. Only a little over a year, because it started in December of 2020. That's when it started. And 11 months later, it was done. But that's recent. David, you blew the weight before he even won a belt at super middleweight. That's a fact. You blew the weight ahead of the Romer and Gulo fight before Canelo fought Callum Smith. And the WBC offered you a number one rank at light heavyweight since you were struggling to make the weight. They offered him that. Turned it down. You want to stay down there in the kiddie pool. I know, because you're food. You not gonna, all this bullshit you be doing, none of that shit, none of it is gonna work.
My question is, why do people bring up Benavidez all the time? Is it because they think that he could beat Canelo? Is that the reason? You got this Mirage guy, you got him. I don't know why.
Because he was PBC.
Listen, the same Mirage, and I told Mirage, Tony Harrison, I like him, but he gonna lose. Who did Mirage pick?
Harrison.
Nobody like to listen to me because they just want me to be wrong. I'm not wrong.
And how many weight classes had Canelo, Floyd, and all these guys been in their 10th year, Jules? Well, at least 3, right? 4?
You're right. At least 3. At least 3.
And David's been a pro at the same weight class for 10 years. Come on, man.
Because he's not the real thing, bro. I know that. Let me read these super chats. Shout out to Devontae. Shout out to Undefeated. Who the fuck has a phone underwater and shit? Trying to tell you, bro. They fool these guys. They fool these guys. You know, they fool them with this creative matchmaking. Shout out to Willie Lynch. So you became a cash cow or a big name from losing the big names? As a boxing fan, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard today. You know, I grew up not grew up. I was already grown, but I'm just saying that only the young guys. Because I noticed it's not the people that was watching boxing at the time that say that shit. It's young guys that know what they know about Floyd from YouTube. You didn't watch Floyd come through, man. You don't know nothing about no Floyd. I know more about Floyd than you. You don't know nothing about no Floyd.
I was watching Floyd Corrales live.
Hey,
that's
IQ.
right.
I think
same
people.
way.
I seen it live when he whooped Chico's ass. I seen it live. Chico's ass.
I think people
IQ.
hope
The
with
same way you and the panel and everybody wants Tank to fight Shakur, Devin. And
I want him
all
to
these
fight
other guys.
David Benavidez too, so he can expose him.
Yeah, exactly.
I want him to fight him too.
I want him to fight Morrell, somebody that can give Canelo a real challenge. Because I'm sorry,
I think Morrell is more of a
Caleb
challenge
Plant
than
and
David.
Callum Smith. That's not going to do it.
They were the champions, though.
No, wait a minute. We're not going to do that because Callum got balls. David don't. Callum is up there light heavyweight right now, knocking people out, and he's chasing better beef. What's David doing?
Hey, man, time will tell. We'll see.
Exactly. You got a level of patience. You got a level of patience for one fighter that you don't keep the same energy for these guys. Yeah, it's true. Canelo beat Callum, right? And Callum didn't stay in the kiddie pool. He went up there to light heavyweight with the guards and the big old men that hit hard. And he's not running from them men like David did. He's running to better beef.
Yeah.
Do you think Joshua ducked Wilder?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you. Yeah.
I don't got nothing, man. Listen, man. Let's stay on the
No,
subject.
it highlights
I don't know,
the
Let's
standard.
stay on the subject because this shit getting confusing. You want David to be something that he isn't because they hooked you in. They fooled you. That's what it is. You really think David is this special fighter?
No, I don't think he's a special fighter. I just think he beats Canelo.
He's a special fighter.
No, Julius. Let me ask you this question.
Not think he's a special fighter. That's a very strong statement. There's only a few special fighters.
You think he's a
Let me
special
ask you this
fighter
question, Julius.
because you need to be a
No, I
special fighter. You need to be a special fighter to beat Canelo. The only guys that beat him or are contested to have beaten him are special fighters. That's not David. Ain't nothing special about you, bro. And your barber should be fired. You out here with a Jerry curl. Did y'all see him at the fight? Y'all here with a Jerry curl.
You know him and Oscar was doing lines.
Hey, who's that character from Scarface? His Tony's partner.
Manolo.
Yeah,
That's who
Julius.
Benavidez
Let's
reminds
go
me of.
with because I think people are really misreading this Canelo versus Benavidez situation. They're not breaking it down properly because we have data. Let's go with all the opponents that Canelo has his hardest fights. We have Floyd Mayweather, obviously. We have Gennady Golovkin. We have Ruslan Lara, and we have Bivol. What all those guys have in common? They have a jab. They have a jab. They have long range. They have good distance control, and have the ability to take a punch. Does Benavidez have all of that qualities?
No.
Okay, I can respond.
And
to
those
that.
guys were champions. Those guys were
I can
champions.
respond
They
to
have
that.
belts.
First of all, Benavidez does have a decent jab, and he
No, he doesn't. That's why he kept
Yeah,
getting held. I could go ahead. What listen, I'm gonna be real, and I don't like to offend people, but I'm gonna be real. There's no way me and you were watching the same fight and you come to the conclusion that he has a jab, because the whole reason Caleb was able to hold is because you don't have a jab. If you were jabbing like an Artur when you close the gap, he's literally gonna run and do a jab when he goes to hold you. But you don't jab. You can watch that whole. Don't even watch the whole fight. Just watch the second half, the last 6. What he does.
You said his punch selection is not that good, but Benavidez is in the top 5 of punch
I
percentage
know
connection, connection.
I know because of CompuBox, right? And CompuBox is only rating you based on the fights that you have with the fighters that you fought, and most of the fighters that you fought ain't worth a damn. So
well,
of course,
if you look at that list, it's
of
it's
course
people that we would.
it's more like well, yeah, when you're fighting guys like David Lemieux, Anthony Terrell, oh yeah, you can land your punches. Avni Yildirim was landing his punches on fucking Anthony Terrell. Avni Yildirim.
That's what got him to be. That's what got him to be David Mandatory.
Right.
He's not gonna do that against Bivol though. I bet you.
That's why I'm very selective when I use CompuBox, because it's like, yes, based on CompuBox, the statistics are going to show A, B, C, and D, but you know what they're not going to show? Who the fuck were you fighting? If they did the CompuBox stats for, say, Konstantin Ponomarev in 2016, he's going to have some good stats. He had 33 fights. He's an unbeaten guy, welterweight, right? You know what it don't tell you? Who the fuck have you been fighting for 33 fights that you're at welterweight? Not the good guys. You ain't been fighting the good guys. But if I just go off a CompuBox, you just got land punches all the time. Maybe land punches.
What makes me laugh is like between Mirage and this is like, why do y'all care so much about Canelo when y'all don't even buy his fights? So what do you care who you fight, who he fights if you don't support him?
Because they care about.
I could say the same about you and Tank Davis. Do you buy all the Tank's fights?
I bought this last fight. I go to the fight. I'm flying to fucking Mexico to see Canelo.
Have you bought all of Tank's fights?
I'm going to keep it real. I don't actually care. I don't actually.
I bought Ugas versus Spence.
Bro,
that's not Tank Davis. Have you bought all of Tank's fights?
Look, when it comes to Tank, I don't actually care what he does. If people didn't like argue with me, I wouldn't even talk about him, because I don't really buy most of your fights. You're irrelevant. To me, you are. Devin has all the belts, so good, because then Gervonta's not holding anything up. I'm gonna buy Devin's fight. I love that fight. It's a great fight. Tank to me is irrelevant to lightweight and irrelevant to super lightweight. You already fought in the one fight that I felt you would have. You already fought in it. That was the Garcia fight. You're not going to fight Devin, and you're not going to fight Shakur. I'm going to be watching Devin and Shakur. If you fight Rolly, I hope Dirk buys you a fight, because I'm not.
I mean, I'm a fan of boxing, and everybody on this panel is a fan of boxing to the point we bought Regis Prograis versus Chon fucking Zepeda.
Yeah, like I'll buy some fight if it's a good fight.
Did you buy that fight, Dirk? Did you buy that fight?
Here's the difference. If Tank were to go out here and fight, for example, I don't know, Stephen Colbert or whatever his name is, Colbert.
Chris Colbert?
I would not. Yeah, Chris Colbert.
I'm not buying that.
Yeah,
that's trash.
Neither would I. But you Canelo fans out here, you're okay with him fighting John Ryder. I don't want to hear about he's the number one mandatory. That dude is not good.
All right. One. Canelo is not in the same place as Gervonta. You don't want to accept that. That's a false equivalency argument. Were you high on Gervonta selling 1 million? Canelo done did that multiple times with multiple fighters. John Ryder ain't nothing but a segue to a bigger fight. And that's how I knew you 23. You acting like Canelo fighting John Ryder is some weird shit. Have you ever heard of Joe Lewis's Bum of the Month Club? Not that I think John Ryder is a bum, by the way, but have you ever heard of that? Nah, right? See, in between the big fights, there's filler fights. In between the big ones. The big one is not the Ryder fight, even though it is big. Look how many fucking tickets they sold. They sold it out in a fucking day. Anything that Canelo kid does is big. But John Ryder is better than 95% of what you'll find on David Benavidez's resume.
Hey, first of all, he actually has had 2 filler fights: the third Triple G fight and this Ryder fight. That's
a big fight. If you're okay with Gervonta versus Ryan, you shouldn't be bothered by Canelo versus Golovkin.
Hey, we're both holding
the same logic. It's literally the same logic. I'm only fighting him because it's a big fight. Yeah, I know. That's why they did the third Golovkin fight. It wasn't because of A, B, C, and D. It's a big fight. Let's do it. Oh, Javante, why'd you fight Ryan? It's a big fight. Let's do it.
I mean, there was a lot of people and some people in the media that picked Ryan to win that fight. So it's not like there was.
I wasn't one of them. What you want me to do? Answer for them? I'm not them. I'm me. I picked Javante.
And what you're ignoring is them letting the cat out the bag. That their intention was never to fight Canelo because they had a 3-fight deal and just been using Canelo's name as name recognition.
I know that.
And they're not even going to send him over.
That's why I said they fooled him. Samson already said the Morrell fight is signed. Meanwhile, you think they really after the Canelo fight. His promoter's saying this shit on camera, but welcome to America.
And what, Jules, what did his promoter say when they asked, will you send him to the zone?
He said no. He said no. Where Ryan had to go to Showtime because Javante is the A side, David will not go to the zone, even though Canelo is the A side. But they want to fight. I'm telling you, it's weird what happened to the American boxing fan. And I use the American boxing fan. Look, Dirk, I don't think you know that I'm an alien and I'm here to study his species. And I use the American boxing fan as the yardstick for the intelligence quotient of the populace. There was a time when the boxing fan was very sharp. You couldn't sell him bullshit. The pundits wouldn't put up with it either. You know, Bert Sugars of the world and the Sporty Lewises of the world. These days, they sell you guys bullshit on a plate, and all y'all do is get a knife and a fork out and eat it up. Hey, man, David, good fight, man. He could lead fight. That motherfucker's a hype job. You can't see that? Hype job. You ain't beat shit. How the fuck have you been here through 2 cycles of champions, 3 of which were on your side of the street? James DeGale, Jose Uzcategui, Caleb Plant. You didn't fight none of them. Like, all right, George was Georging on another side of the street. Fine, I'll forgive it. Zerto was Zertoing at Top Rank. Fine, I'll forgive it. But Caleb was on your side of the street. James DeGale was on your side of the street.
Julius,
was on your side of the street.
That's not fair because at that moment, David Benavidez was sparring the top guys in the world. That's not fair.
Like, yo, they sell, and I think that this goes over the best. Honestly, it does go over the best in America because they want somebody to be something that they ain't so bad. It'll be in front of you that, like, you know, they gaming you, right? That you never had to wait for Caleb to fight David. That you waited for that, even though if they would have did it then, it would have been 2 unbeaten champions coming together to make a decent sized fight. And they literally make you wait. Literally.
And
wait
David lost the belt. You know,
wait till Caleb gets knocked out. Then we'll do the fight. Because it'll be better then.
Yeah. And the American fans are the only one that, oh, he beat him up in sparring, though, so he good.
Where I don't hear, never in my life, in all my millions of years on this little blue planet, have I heard so much about sparring sessions, bro. Devin beat the sparring. Like, bro, it's sparring, bro. How many times does it need to be explained? Sparring is not the same as fighting. Sparring is to work on shit. It's not the same. But, believe what you like.
Hey, Jules, I'm gonna have to call bullshit on that, on the sole fact that I see a lot of Brits these days like to talk about them.
No, they're doing it too. They're doing it too. Martin Bacoli is he out of control. I beat him in sparring. I beat him. I knock out Usyk in sparring.
Dubois too against AJ.
I know.
Oh, Jesus. But where I appreciate the British fan is like, they're not buying bullshit. Look at Fury. Fury's fucked. If he don't fight someone decent, if he don't fight Zhang or someone at that level, they're not buying his shit.
And that's why you got to give it to the Brits. They're not gonna keep shoveling shit the way people shovel shit for days. Like, yo, you realize it took 5 pay-per-views for him to finally fight somebody that y'all wanted to see him fight, and you really convinced that you got your money's worth. You don't know what they just sold you. A prospect versus Davis. That's what Ryan was. A prospect. Javante is 28. He's fought in 3 divisions. Why is he fighting a prospect? I get it. The bag. Are you going to demand that he fight Devin now? Are you going to demand that he fights Stevenson now? Or are you going to continue to encourage his behavior? Because if you are, then you don't want fights. You just
is he going to move up and fight guys? Yeah.
Is
He's
it
gonna move
is
up.
it is it
And in any
positive?
other
Is it
sport,
positive or negative that this fight did the numbers that it did? Outside,
I would say it's negative because it's gonna. I would say it's negative. The only way I would say it was positive is if it would lead to more bipartisanship in boxing, but it's not. The only reason you were willing to do a fight with a Golden Boy Promotions fighter is because he was no threat to you.
Yep.
That's the only reason you did it. I don't know why we're supposed to pretend that Ryan. If you thought that, I don't know. I have maintained. Wait. I have maintained for months. Yeah, there is a way for Ryan to win, but I don't trust him. He don't have the experience for this fight. He's worth a lot of money. He's real popular, but he don't have the experience. And I go to any video I did. I'm breaking your shit down. Use height, use jab, take a half step back, counter with the left. All type of hot shit that I didn't think he was going to do, which is why I picked Gervonta.
and then what did your sources tell you during training camp? What he was really doing?
Wasn't taking the camp seriously. He was only working with Joe 3 days out of the week.
And then you throw in all the stipulations that made to make sure that
Thank you, because the stipulations that didn't come into like all of that becoming a conversation. That didn't really become a conversation until much later on. It's like, bro, this dude is gonna lose. This dude is gonna lose. This is not a fight. They don't want to put Davis in a fight. I'm sorry, they don't want to put him in a fight.
They want him in foregone conclusion fights.
They're selling everybody bullshit because in any other sport, if a professional athlete has a 10-year career, you could already tell if he's a Hall of Famer or not.
Yeah.
David Benavidez and Tank Davis aren't Hall of Famers.
That's right.
Hell no. Especially not David. At least Tank is popular. Something. David.
David Benavidez has
I'll tell you what. Let me chill. Because look, y'all know how I feel about the David and Canelo shit. That aside, I like David versus David. And according to Samson Hairy Chest, they gonna fight. So I hope they fight because I do like that fight. See, that's a tasty fight. Because David Morrell has the right style to beat David Benavidez. But I don't know if he has the right experience. This dude only has like 9 fights. See what I mean? So it's intriguing that, he's got the style, but he's got the rounds and the experience.
I know David Morrell, he also has something that David hasn't faced. If Ronald Gabriel dropped him, David Morrell almost killed me in the ring that last fight. You remember, Jules?
Bro, yeah, he damn near
put me in a coma.
He put him in a coma. I like that fight. Like, I'm a boxing fan. I fucking hate the PBC. I hate them. But if you make a good fight, you see that shit.
I'll buy that shit.
I would buy David against Andrade. I would buy David against Jamal Charlo.
Yeah.
I mean,
Motherfucker, you're talking to a man on this channel that bought Clarissa Shields pay-per-view.
It's a good fight.
Okay, so yeah, we all agree that it's a great fight. But if you're Benavidez people and Morrell's people, does it make sense to make that fight? There's no belts on the line.
Nah, I'll tell you.
Nobody knows who the fuck Morrell is.
No. I'll tell you. For the Benavidez people, right? Believe it or not, it makes sense to do it now. Don't do it later. He'll be more dangerous later, more experienced later. Get him now, a la Charlo Lubin. I fucking knew Lubin wasn't ready for that fight. All this bullshit. People were saying that kid ain't fought shit. Pick Charlo. Charlo knocked that motherfucker out in 34 seconds with an uppercut.
At least it'll be worth it later because he potentially.
You're saying that, but you giving him the chance to catch up to you. Okay. That's all you doing.
We all gonna have to fight each other eventually, but at least I can fight you when it's worth it.
Bro, think about it like this. If you try to do a fight with somebody else, because they're not after Canelo, but you think they are, whatever. I'll just try to do this as best as I can. Your other options are Jamal Charlo, who you're not going to get right now. He's going to fight in a tune-up fight. He's not going to fight you now. Him and Andre are talking about fighting each other, presumably later on this year. Now, you could try to get Andre in the ring, but he's going to want a lot more money than Morrell. He's going to want a lot more money. Whereas Morrell, cheapest alternative, greenest fighter of all the guys in the conversation. He's the greenest. Get him now. Get him now.
Christian and Billy.
And Billy's with Top Rank.
Damn.
I'm not knocking you. I'm not against that fight. And I do believe there's going to come a point where soon where that becomes a conversation, because Mbele's on the WBC route. That means that he's behind David and he's catching up. So I'm not against that fight, but they won't make it. No, they won't make it.
Julius, I got a question. Do you think if David becomes number one contender, you think he's not going to fight Canelo? They're not going to have him fight Canelo?
It's not that. It's that there's a couple of things in play. For starters, the WBC is not stupid. Your relationship with the WBC is not more valuable to the WBC than their relationship with Canelo. You are not important. I do not underestimate their ability to leave you in limbo, because look at what they're doing to Carlos Adames.
Hello.
He went to Cancun. Charlo wasn't even there. He went to Cancun. Yo, order the fight. No.
Hey, this is like, to me, this is the equivalent of Ugas. Let's say Ugas was in place to challenge for Earl Spence's belt. Let's say Earl was undisputed, and instead of fighting Earl Spence, he decides to fight Jaron Ennis. That's suicide. That doesn't make any business sense for Benavidez to do that.
I would not compare that, because it's not like your options are great. They're not. None of your options are great. You don't really have Charlo as an option. They mentioned him in the contract, but you know damn good and well he ain't about to fight David or for 2-year layoff. Of course not. And Andre, yeah, maybe you can get him, but it is going to be more expensive than the Morrell fight. He's going to fight. You could probably give David Morrell $500,000. He'll take that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Andre wasn't happy with over $1 million for Zach fucking Parker, so he's going to be there with David?
Nope.
So what I'm saying, that the Morrell fight right now for the fall is the cheapest alternative. He's the least experienced fighter. It would be better for you to take care of him now before he turn into some shit. Because if you let him, he'll turn into some shit.
Yeah,
he's putting guys in comas, bro. Yamaguchi.
Get him while he's green.
You know what I'm saying? You better get him now, because it's only going to get harder. Get him now.
It could end up like a Vargas situation where Fernando Vargas, you know, it's a little bit different, but he
talking about Vargas and Trinidad, right?
Yeah, where he you know that he wasn't ready.
But that's why you need to do it now, because if you let him, he'll get ready, and then what?
How old is Morrell anyway?
He's 21. Cuban, so he's lying.
He's in his early 30s. Early 30s at best.
This motherfucker is 45 years old, bro.
Nah, he looks young. Let's not lie.
He looks like a young dude at least. We don't know how old.
Bro, we don't know how old he is. Let's be real. Bro, Frankie Sanchez still trying to convince people he in his late 20s.
That dude's 47.
Who believe that shit? Like, bro, you in your 20s, bro. Come on, B.
Do you think Jared Anderson is a legit future heavyweight champion?
Absolutely. He has one flaw that is scary, but I really like that kid. The flaw that he has is he pulls back in a straight line, and he can afford to do that with short fighters that don't have to reach to swipe him on the way out. But if he keep doing that,
he gets hit a lot.
What happened to Ali in the Frazier fight? Remember what happened to Ali in the Frazier fight? He pulled back in a straight line, left hook on his ass.
Word on the street, he's got a hell of a chin.
I think he does too, but has he fought them 6'6" and 6'7" guys yet?
Nope.
Now I was going to wait for your relay on Kosabatsky, this new fight with Zhan coming up that he's got.
I'm gonna have to watch a Kombuchi. I don't know that guy, so I got to look at him. But I'll say I am high on Jared. I am. I like that kid. I think he beat Daniel Dubois right now.
Oh yeah. Or Dylan. I haven't beaten Dylan White now.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. He beat the dog shit out of Dylan.
Maybe. I mean, like he could, like it's possible. It's just I've been saying, when you got a young guy, right? One thing that they doing in the marketplace right now that is wrong. You got a young guy that's fun to watch, man. He is fun to watch. I want to see that kid fight 3 times a year, man. Don't turn him into no 2-time-a-year fighter. He need to build fans. The way you build fans for real, get out there and knock people the fuck out. That's how you build fans. Often, though, Not these long. Like Shakur is already a two-time-a-year fighter. It's tough to build fans like that because Jared Anderson is so young. He's fun to watch. He took care of who was that? That was Johnny Rice. Was that Johnny Rice?
It was
Jerry Forrest.
That was Jerry Forrest.
Yeah,
Took care of Jerry Forrest in what, 2 rounds? Man, get that guy in a fight. And if he take care of this guy quick, hey, get that guy in a fight. It turned into a tradition. Jared Anderson fighting, like about to get knocked out. That's what boxing is missing right now. That guys need to fight often though. Like that, yeah, like the old days. Boxing was bigger when boxers fought often. It was bigger, way bigger. This shit today, you barely see the guy you like. Look, he like Errol Spence. He ain't seen Errol in over a year. You an Errol fan, right, Dirk?
What happened?
You an Errol fan, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Errol has fought once in the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
I'm a Jermel guy, and shit, he hasn't fought in a year, bro. I'm so disappointed. I really want to see him fight.
And he's undisputed. Yep.
Now, let me read the super chats. Bobby Light says, Gaddy was the A side, and Floyd always fought fighters with a fan base. Without that, look at Berto, Robert Guerrero. Don't rewrite history, please. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Rodolfo says, Canelo and Khan did 600,000. Pretty impressive. Yeah, I was impressed. LT says, Oscar De La Hoya did more for Canelo than Mayweather. I agree. Rider of the Storm says, Dirk on the bull caca again. Dude, he said,
Thanks for the super chat.
Thanks for the super chat. Let me see if it's more. Yep, there's more. Domo says, Ryan handled Tank's clinches better than Benavidez handled. Yeah, but Ryan got himself knocked the fuck out being a dickhead, man. I don't even. What the fuck was his plan, dog? He did like
I don't know, charge forward.
I don't know what his plan was. I don't know what his plan was. Will says Canelo is 5'7" and Smith is 6'3". That's not a challenge. Are you a casual? He had the reach, the size, and was a champion. What the fuck? Yeah, like there's this idea that David is supposed to be better by default. That he is the premier. Listen, what I know is Callum is up there smoking like heavyweights, smoking them. Cold knocking them out, and David out here going the distance with Caleb. I don't even think Caleb, the weird shit is I don't even think Caleb would go the distance with Callum. Let either that catch and shoot left or that right get in. Caleb will go right out. Either that, and it really will probably be the catch and shoot left hook. DHP says, bruh, do the David Benavidez fighting impression again. Can you see that?
Is that David Benavidez? Oh wait, that's UIQ. Oh shit.
That's good at impressions, yo. Oh shit, I didn't even know Country was backstage. Read
Thank you, sir.
Let me see if it's more.
Oh, there's a lot more.
Fucking
Hey, Jules, get that beer money, bruh.
Fuck it. This dude don't know shit about boxing. This was a floor. Come on, y'all be polite. Tacos. I appreciate taco money, man. I'm gonna go to Taco Bell, eat some tacos, man. PBC and Showtime mouthpieces feeding their fan bases a bunch of bullshit. You got these clueless fans spewing out nonsense, thinking they on some expert shit. Trying to tell you, man, they be fooling people, man. That's the whole gimmick with David. It's the whole gimmick that they don't notice that this guy first won a title in 2017. That was 4 years ago, bro. Wow. And you are just now getting around to fighting a Caleb Plant. Let me tell you something. When you first won that belt, you were the same age that Teofimio was when he fought Richard Comey and Lomachenko. What the fuck have you been doing all these years? Dicking around.
Snorting coke, blowing weight.
Dicking around.
Losing the belt.
And he's supposed to be a monster.
Hey man, his girlfriend Mirage is in the chat too, man.
I see it, but
you have.
Let me say this to bother Mirage. I'm gonna say this. David Benavidez wishes he could do to guys what Callum did to Lennon Castillo. He hit that motherfucker so hard he had a seizure.
He turned into a vibrator.
He
Mirage
literally
Mirage has to talk shit about Crawford now because he ain't got nothing to stand on.
None of that shit is gonna add names to David Benavidez's weak ass resume. None of it. Yo, that dude resume has anorexia. His resume is so fucking weak, bro. His resume is emaciated. Somebody
he's not a bad fighter, but at the same time, he's very,
get his resume a sandwich because that shit.
Him and Andrade.
It's
I mean,
David
Jules,
Benavidez.
he
David
beat
Benavidez
Tyrone
has been a
Davis.
professional.
Hey, all the more
David
reasons
Benavidez-
for Canelo to fight him. It should be.
I
easy,
agree.
right?
I think he should fight. I think he should fight that fat fucking kid because he sucks.
But what did his promoter say? That his dad said no. They got a 3-fight deal.
That's literally, that they said we're not after Canelo. Yeah, I've always known you weren't after Canelo.
What do you say?
I know.
Say that.
We're not after Canelo. I know. I know that. I don't fucking know that. I know exactly what you're doing. But the worst thing that could happen to you, and I swear to God, I'm going to drive down to Jalisco and just call this guy. Call out David. Watch him fold. He's not who he say. Watch him. Call him. He's not who he says. Canelo's calling me. He's gonna go hide behind Samson.
I would love to see Beterbiev call him. That'd be my favorite.
Oh, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh God!
That would
Imagine
be
turning around and
fucking
seeing Beterbiev. Like just turn around, you see, is it long?
That would be like, you would see a log of shit fall out of David's chair.
It's hilarious. Like Canelo could. The thing is, Canelo could go on and beat Bivol and go for undisputed against Beterbiev, and people will still say he's ducking Benavidez.
Stupid people. No.
Literally.
Yes, Drew. Stupid people. Not me. Listen, David. Oh my God! If they made Benavidez versus Beterbiev, the ass whooping that he would take. Bro,
Not even Beterbiev. Anthony Yard.
If you thought that Smith got it bad, those that got it bad.
Mirage would be on suicide watch, man.
Yo, Matt, you know what it would look like? Zoo versus Harrison. Towards the he would fucking drill David, bro.
And Mirage is saying, Beterbiev just went life and death with a B-level fighter.
Yard would be Yard. He beat Yard. Benavidez, yeah. Your power is fake.
Yard has
power. Yard has power. He hurt. If he would have had a little bit more seasoning, just a little bit more rounds in the bank, he would have beat Sergey.
I think he beats Yard.
I believe that 100%. I believe that.
I don't think he.
I'm not gonna lie. Does anyone else here think that he has a chance against Smith Jr.?
Who?
Benavidez.
Oh, I don't know.
We got to see. You know what the main thing is? We don't know what Smith has left. We don't know.
Yeah, he got hit bad. In that
He got wrecked by Beterbiev, man. Beterbiev might have fucked him up real good. Shit.
Raj, I'm not tripping. Smith at his best is literally what David is, except more with a better chin. Or a more proven chin.
And Smith is a testament to the American spirit. 4 times the underdog. 4 times. 4 times he beat the odds. 4 times.
But the one time he was a favorite, but my bad.
Reminds me of Roddy Piper and They Live, man. Don't he remind you of Roddy Piper and They Live?
He does. I mean, but the one time he was a favorite against what's his face? What the hell's his name? Vlasov. He lost.
Yeah,
Go figure.
Yeah.
But
well, he should have lost.
He should have lost. I thought, so.
JR says, now that Tank is the face of boxing, he needs to check that death row contract guarantee. No, I say that, look, if you guys are going to say that he's the face of boxing, a part of being the face of boxing is being able to make any fight you want. So if you're not fighting Devin, it's because you don't want to. Because you're the face of boxing, right? So make him an offer, face of boxing. Good. Make him an offer. if you're the face of boxing, because
No
that's
stipulations too. No stipulations.
yeah, that's a part of it. When Sugar look at Sugar Ray's resume. He fought the only guy he didn't fight was Aaron Pryor, but I forgive him for that because he was going to fight Aaron Pryor. Retina got the tattoo.
He fought Tommy Hearns, Julius. He fought Tommy Hearns. I mean,
Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran,
Unbeaten Tommy Hearns. Unbeaten.
Tommy Hearns was remembered as vicious back then. Nobody wanted to fight him at that point.
You wanted to fucking fight that fucking guy, right? When you're the face of boxing, it's a consistent track record. People act like Canelo started boxing today. You must have been like, if you're 23, that means when all that Golovkin shit was going on, you were like 15, 14. Because that was like 7 years ago. And this guy's got a consistent track record of fighting in the fights that people ask him to fight in. That's the truth. He does have a consistent track record of that. And I'm not going to treat him like he never fought none. You know who I am going to treat like he never fought none? Javante.
David Benavidez.
Oh, yeah, he didn't fight shit.
Like this. Canelo could.
Sucker ass shit is, let's wait till Canelo knocks him out. Then we'll fight him.
Canelo could beat Bivol in September, retire, and people will say he ducked David.
They would. Stupid people.
Mm-hmm.
And then when David, the beauty of David is that I believe, and I'm not sure, but I believe what happened to Jared Hurd is gonna happen to him. It's not healthy what you're doing. It's not. You belong at 175. You keep making 168, but you belong at 175. You're gonna get figured out, and
we know the reason why he's not at 175. It's because he'd get killed up there.
And then the reason is Arthur better. Yep. And you're not a good enough boxer for B-ball.
Of course not.
No.
It's not even those two guys too. I mean, I would have had guys like Smith or Yard or even Joe Smith if he is fine. I mean,
honestly,
what about Spider Richards? What about Craig Richards?
Bivol, if it was Bivol, he'd make him look sillier than he made Zerto look.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to piss off Mirage. Let me piss off Mirage. Let me piss him off. David Benavidez stays up at night wishing that he could throw hooks to the body as tight as Zerto Ramirez.
Oh shit!
Because his hooks to the body are so, like he doesn't. Watch him hook to the body. It's like you could fit a fucking couch. The couch I'm sitting on could fit in between David Benavidez's hooks. They're so wide and messy. Zerto is not that good. I'm not even saying that he is, but his hooks to the body and his uppercuts in the pocket are tighter than David's.
I bet no, Jules, that segment you got that you cut in the intro of your videos when David was hooking on Lemieux, like what the hell, like in the corner, like what the
they think this is Mirage thinks that this is a combination.
I'm not gonna lie on what's it called. If Zerto wasn't so fucking fat, I would have probably actually had him to beat David if he moves to light heavyweight. But I ain't picking nobody that can't make weight like that.
I'm not picking nobody that plays hide the peanut butter.
David plays hide the churro, bro. He plays hide the churro.
He does, and I'm going to leave it there. Like he plays hide the ho-ho.
Oh my god! Hey, Jules, Mirage is accusing you of trolling.
I'm not trolling. I think David. He wishes that he were as good an inside fighter as Zerto Ramirez. He doesn't have the skills of Zerto.
No, and our Mexican fighters, I'll name them: Zerto, David Benavidez, Ryan Garcia, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. still has a better resume than all of them.
I want to say that I think David wishes that he was Mexican. I want to say that. Mexican people are excellent fighters, great body punchers. David is none of those things. I suspect that he's Ecuadorian.
You know what? That makes sense. That would make a lot of sense.
Ecuadorian. He's not Mexican.
He's not a horrible fighter. But he's not special.
He's not horrible, country, but he is terrible.
Look, some people like to say, why
He's not average. He's all right.
Why Devin Benavidez has to go to light heavyweight to fight champions? Why you don't? Why he has to go
Good point.
to there to fight the good competition? Why? Maybe because you want to fight Canelo. Okay, you want to fight Canelo. That doesn't have nothing to do with the gross amount of money you're going to make, win or lose by fighting. 99% of the people on this planet want to fight Canelo in that regard. I want to fight Canelo for 10. I will not get knocked the fuck out for $10 million. So what you're telling me that you want to fight Canelo doesn't mean shit. Everyone wants to fight
Exactly. Canelo. It's not that you want to fight the best. It's that you don't want to risk losing unless it's losing to Canelo, because at least with him, you'll make money. But I told you, Leo, and I've been saying, I don't know why people think they want to fight Canelo.
Andrade's doing the
same thing. They told on themselves already, but
Andrade's been doing the same thing for years.
Well, that is Andrade's rationale. But I'm saying with David, it is different. Like, bro, y'all not really after Canelo. You just like using his name for shit. That's all y'all doing. Y'all not.
I've heard Tank Davis fans say the same shit about Tank. You don't actually want to fight Tank. You just want the clout from him. Sounds.
I think they want to fight him because he's basic and punch drunk. Tank is another one that's basic. That dude is
Tank is a basic fighter.
Oh hell yeah!
I will argue Tank is a complete fighter.
He's not.
Nah, bro.
He's a completely rounded fighter. He's shown he can fight on the outside.
Nah, he's incomplete. What he does, I do think he's a good counterpuncher. I'll give him that. I do think he's a good counterpuncher. I will give him that, but he's not. I don't think he has good defense. He gets hit a lot. He actually gets hit quite a bit if you pay attention. But it's just that most people. What punchers has he fought?
Isaac Cruz, Rolly Romero, Ryan
Garcia. Isaac Cruz again with the Isaac Cruz. Who did Isaac Cruz beat?
Bro, they're not proven punchers. Power, regardless who you power.
Oh, wait, they're not proven punchers. Look like you have power when you're not fighting anybody. Who did he beat?
I mean, who's that guy?
Dirk, wait a sec. Dirk, let me ask you this: if Rolly Romero is such a big puncher, why didn't he knock out Jackson Martinez?
How do you think Rolly got here? Because of his boxing skills?
My God.
He didn't knock out Martinez, did he?
No. Wait a minute. Let me help you. Can I help you guys? Wait. Look. Let me get my Cheez-Its. I had to get my Cheez-Its. I'm fucking hungry. Sitting here talking this boxing shit. I'm going to tell you what. Rolly does have power. Don't get it twisted. He does have power. Right. But he don't have Richard Comey power. That's why Richard was able to wipe his ass with Martinez in 2 rounds? That's real power.
Thank you, Jules.
Wait, that's right.
Jules,
that's
further.
Thank you,
Isaac
Jules.
Cruz,
Appreciate
right?
it.
Isaac Cruz. He fought Francisco
Michael
Vargas.
Giles is backstage.
And he went the full 12 with him or 10 with him. You know how long it took Ryo to knock out Francisco Vargas? 30 seconds. Do you want to know how long it took Robeisy Ramirez to what was the other dude? Matias Ramiro, another guy Isaac Cruz fought to decision. You know what Matias Ramiro did after that? He went down 2 weight classes because that was probably his more natural weight at featherweight, and he fought Robeisy Ramirez. You know how much rounds Robeisy Ramirez took? I think about 9. How strong of a puncher is Isaac Cruz really?
Isaac is not a strong puncher.
He's more of a volume puncher.
I'm going to say if you put Isaac in there with William Zepeda, William will fuck him up.
That'd be a good fight.
I got Zepeda in that fight, 100%.
If you're going to come forward with Isaac Cruz, you're playing his wheelhouse.
Now, I will say I like Isaac's style because it's good for TV. It is good for TV. But let's be real, bro. You ducked everything, bro. Ryan offered you $1 million. The WBC ordered you to fight Shakur. You didn't want to fight the fake Dominican Ali kid, Michelle Riviera. You don't want to fight shit, bro. You fake.
The fake Dominican.
Nah, bro, because that dude was so ass, bro. I'm sorry. I look back at it. I was like, damn, bro, you were really so mid. You were like one of the most mid.
But he was always mid, though. Let's be real. Like, he was all. Yeah. He don't even look like Ali. He looked like Julian Jackson.
He do.
No, he don't. He looked like Julian Jackson if he got punched in the nose or something. Like,
well, you said yourself, Tank has no defense allegedly.
No, I didn't say he didn't have no defense. When did I say that?
Kind of bad.
I said he gets hit a lot, and he does. Watch his fights. Barrios was touching him. Leo was touching him. Grawley was touching him.
I'm
Hey,
just saying
Jules,
we've
Michael
never seen this
Giles
dude hurt.
backstage.
We've never seen this dude
I
hurt,
know, but
wobble,
it's hurt
nothing.
him.
In
Okay.
fact, I had Barrios. I think the unofficial scorecard had Barrios ahead at the time of the stoppage.
Have we ever seen Tank hurt?
He
How
don't
many hard
fucking-
punches have you
bro.
fought?
He doesn't
Isaac
fight
hurt him.
no.
We saw
Isaac hurt him in the first round. I remember that. Isaac hurt him in the
Okay,
first
you
round.
keep saying he hasn't fought nobody, but I've seen Earl Spence hurt by this African dude named Lardy. I've seen Canelo get hurt by Cotto's enrichment.
You get hurt, Spence.
Everybody gets hurt in boxing.
Sean hurt Spence.
It ain't that. It's that. Irrespective of being hurt or not being hurt, your quality of competition is very poor for a 28-year-old. It is. It is. Look at who Canelo have fought by 28 and look at who you haven't fought by 28. You know that he already fought Golovkin 2 times by 28? That means he already fought Angulo, Lara, Trout, Mayweather, Cotto, Khan, Chavez, and Golovkin 2 times by 28. Who have you fought?
Pedraza.
What, Cruz? Oh my God, he fought Isaac Cruz.
Also,
Leo
what's it
Santa
called?
Cruz.
He got dropped by
That's it.
Leo Santa Cruz. So,
Yeah.
if you want to know a bit about his chin, there, that's it right there,
That was not a knockdown. You know that. Come on, bro.
bro. Yes, it was.
He slipped.
All right, bro. Just like
Okay,
Tio slipped
of
his
course.
hand or punched him in the face, right?
No, that was a clean check right.
All right, bro. All right, bro.
Okay.
Bro, Davis is mid, bro. Davis is C.
I mean, Jules. Everybody, y'all remember what Floyd Mayweather said not that long ago? What should Tank? What should Devin and Shakur do?
Go fight each other. Leave Tank alone.
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you.
Hey,
Leave his baby
speaking
boy
of which,
alone.
Devin
That's
Haney
why
was
Tank's
gonna
not
do
going to
that
fight those guys.
I know he's not going to fight those guys because they know. They know what I know. They know what I know.
Exposed. It says exposed all over the place.
He can beat Devin.
No, he
No
can't.
chance.
No, I can't, dude. He'll be
Nope,
outboxed.
sorry.
I'm going to tell you that what happened to Teofimo with Sandor, right? It would be that way with Javante, but worse. Devin would actually win.
If you watch Devin's fight with Jojo Diaz,
Jojo Diaz is a completely different. The only thing Jojo and Javante have in common is that they're southpaws.
Exactly.
Javante's not a volume puncher. Jojo is.
But what Jojo was able to do was take away Devin's jab
Because he pressured him.
Yeah, he actually not only did he take away his jab, he out jabbed him in the fight.
No way.
And
Bro.
Devin's defense, Devin Haney's defense in the open
Stop.
stance is not very good.
I don't know what
No,
He did out jab him. He did out
You,
jab him.
y'all
Copy
know
and
fight
bounce
you
shows
saw my
that.
guy.
Copy and
He
bounce
didn't
shows
take
that.
away Devin's jab in that fight.
Devin
he
was
did.
getting
He did.
cracked in that
I'm
fight.
gonna
By,
put it to you. I'm gonna put it to you as simple as I can. Right? Jojo Diaz is a mid-range to inside pressure fighter. He's a volume puncher. It's not even that he's taking away Devin's jab. It's that at that range, it doesn't matter. At that range, and his range is close quarters, close range. Pure boxers don't like volume punches. That's the easiest way I could put it. They don't like a guy that's going to put 3, 4, 5, 6 punches together. They don't like that. That's constant pressure, constantly having to move and reset. That's not Javante. Javante only throws 1 to 2 punches at a time.
Do you think Tank will fight Devin if Loma beats Devin?
No.
Nope.
There's no reason.
Even if Tank thinks Tank in the PBC thinks he's weaker. Devin's weaker now that he lost to Loma. Do you think?
I just don't see none of that happen. Period. Like I don't know. I literally don't know what's going to happen with Loma and Devin yet. Really excited about that fight. That's why I just want to see it. But style wise, you don't put a pure boxer, right? You don't put a counter puncher in there with a pure boxer. Counter puncher gonna be lost. He is gonna be lost. He's not giving me nothing to counter. Ryan is a jackass that started stepping into his shit. Well, you chasing him now, so he got plenty to work with now.
Hey, you guys keep
You know
bringing
what's
up
funny?
Devin,
When Ryan was doing that shit, it's like, dude, you're doing exactly what Tank wants you to do. It's only going to be a matter of time before he hits you with a counter. Then in the second round, bop, down he goes.
Why are we sleeping on Loma? It's not guaranteed that Devin
I'm not
wins that
sleeping
fight.
on Loma. I just said I don't know who's gonna win that fight.
I actually got Loma winning that fight.
But don't compare Loma. Y'all looking at the hand they lead with. They got mass. Yo, the only thing they have in common is that they're southpaws. Davis's footwork, and he does have decent feet. I'm not even going to say he has bad feet. He doesn't have bad feet. But their footwork is not the same. You will move out of range to circle the perimeter of the ring to stay out of the way of punches. That's not what Loma does. He cuts angles while maintaining the pocket so he can stay in position to counter. And he is a volume puncher. He does throw punches in bunches.
He can't fight going backwards.
You could say that. I would say that he is weak when he has to shift his weight onto his back foot. I would agree with that.
Jermaine Ortiz and Teofimo were able to take advantage of that. Devin Haney doesn't really do that. So that's why, to me, this is a 50-50 fight.
Well, no, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that.
And the other thing, Gervonta Davis, how much time has he had that WBA regular title?
2019.
Oh, by the way, Tank can do that. That's
okay.
Why
So Gervonta Davis has had 2 years to enforce his mandatory position to either fight Kambosos or Devin Haney.
Holy shit, he's had 4.
And who he fighting, Leo? Who he fought?
Ryan Garcia.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
What more do we do?
They do this shit in front of y'all. They do this shit in front of y'all.
What more convincing?
Say nothing.
Okay, wait.
What more
I have a
convincing like
serious,
D-Wade at this point?
I have a serious question. Let's say he takes the undisputed route and fights Devin or Kambosos, and he beats one of them and becomes undisputed. Would you take that over fighting Ryan Garcia and doing a 1 million pay-per-view buys and potentially $20+ million?
You asking me what fight I'd rather see, right? Right? Like,
No,
that's the question.
I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a Tank Davis.
All right, then I'm not Tank. I'm not his counselor, his parole officer. I'm not his mother. I'm not his father. I'm not his manager. I'm not his
parole officer.
I'm not none of that. Now, I feel you. I feel what you mean. That I'm not. Look, I get why you fought Ryan, but I don't have no illusions about you. Ryan ain't Devin. Now, I would buy you versus Devin. That's a better fight to me. I would buy you versus Stevenson. He gonna play with you. You're not on his level. Not on his level.
Okay, and the other thing,
I agree with you on
that. I understand the Ryan Garcia fight. I really do, because it's a money grab. But did you have to fight Isaac Cruz? Did you have to fight Rolly Romero? Did you have to fight Mario Barrios? But you have that belt, that baby belt, that allowed you to fight for the full title.
Exactly. And for the last, bear in mind, Leo, that for the last 3 or 4 years, the WBA champion, whoever it was, whether it was Loma, George, Tio, or somebody else, they've been in possession of other titles at the same time. So you get to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But you'd rather fight Isaac Cruz.
But you know what? People are like ignoring the stuff that he made himself look bad, and people are ignoring that. I mean, come on, you don't need to catch weight, rehydration clause, 1-way rematch, the freaking spy.
I'm glad you said, Concrete. I'm glad you say that, because they want to ignore that when listen, bro, when the lawyers drew up the contracts, your people thought it necessary to put weight clauses in there. So that tells me
or a prospect, not even an elite fighter.
They don't really trust you like that, because if Ryan would have said, no, I'm not fighting at no 136, you know what would have happened? No fight. They wouldn't have fought. Wouldn't have fought. Simple as. But people really look at the shit that he be doing. They forget everything. And it's like, yo, you realize that when the lawyers drew up the contracts, they made the whole fight, all this money, they made it contingent upon Ryan Garcia accepting weight stipulations. They would have left this much money on the table because that's how fucking nervous they are. Over Ryan?
He's overprotected.
Like, god damn, dog.
Has anybody seen that before? Has anybody seen that before? I have never seen that before.
You know that I've never seen. I've seen catch weights. I have never seen, wholeheartedly, bro, I have never seen a catch weight and a rehydration clause. I've never seen that. I've never seen a guy use both. I've even seen
the catch weight was Ryan Garcia's idea,
bruh.
Bro, stop saying that.
No, it was. Are you serious?
138.
Did not want to fight at 35.
That's what Ryan wanted it at 138.
Now you trolling.
Well, he was still a catch weight, but whatever.
The rehab, but I don't even, you know what? No, bro. Listen, it's not even the catch weight. Forget that. It's the rehydration clause. And I know for a fact Ryan didn't want that.
Yeah.
I know he didn't want that.
Tank followed the same stipulations.
Yeah, and Tank is a short little butterball.
Yeah.
It's not going to bother him as much. Stop making excuses for your weak idols. You cannot sell them to me. If you like them, great. Stop selling him to me. You didn't put rehydration clauses in there for no reason. You knew what you were doing. You knew it would weaken the fighter. It's very simple. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there.
Yep. I mean, catch, but I've never seen that stipulation.
Yeah, Dirk, you realize that?
I don't care, but bro, he signed the contract. Yeah, so what? You still needed to. You wouldn't sign the same contract as him if he didn't accept your weight stipulations.
Yep.
You wouldn't have signed all this money that this fight made. You would have left it on the table if he doesn't accept your weight stipulations.
Dirk, if you were Ryan, would you have taken it? Because I wouldn't have. But would you have taken it if you were Ryan?
I don't even think he should have. I think he should have told. I think it's just like Ward said. Ward said it best. You should have took that and took it to social media and said, look, guys, I tried to make the fight, but they want to drain me. I can't make that weight. And the other shit is Gervonta Davis fans must think BoxRec or Google is down. Look, Ryan ain't fought at 135 in over a year, bro. His last 2 fights was at 140. So you knew exactly what you were doing.
Ask yourself this question: if it was the other way around, would Tank have signed that shit?
No, of course not. I told you they don't want to put him in no fights.
I have to correct myself. I have seen it before. Fury tried doing that with Usyk, but at least Usyk didn't take the bait on that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Usyk tried.
Will ask, how many rounds did Tank go with Gamboa again? He went 12. DHP said Mr. Mirage is going to tear his Benavidez poster up if you guys keep clowning this man. I'm sorry, Mirages.
No, we're not.
On that note, I'm going to call it a night, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. See y'all in the next talks.
Okay.
Night, everyone.
Guys.